This is the American Athletic Conference on ESPN+. Brought to you by Jostens, the official and exclusive championship jewelry partner of the American Athletic Conference. Hello and welcome to Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're on the campus of the University of Tulsa, where it's the American Athletic Conference Men's Tennis Championship. The top two seeds have made it through. It's Memphis and SMU. I'm Bruce Howard, joined by Mark Bay. And Mark, unlike the women's championship yesterday, the top two seeds have made it through to the finals. We have two really good teams here.
Absolutely, Bruce. Both of these teams are going to make the NCAA tournament, so it's a little different than yesterday's win or go home. But I think the bragging rights for both of these teams winning their first American Athletic Conference will be outstanding. Memphis took a pretty bad beating last time, 4-0, but it was a little closer than that on paper. Indoors might slightly favor Memphis, but I think this one's going to go down on the wire.
Yeah, it should be a great one. Let's take a look at the path that these two teams took to get to the finals here in Tulsa. You see South Florida and SMU going at it in the semifinals. SMU dominated that one, and a very close one. Memphis eking it out against the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, the home team, and therefore you have number one against number two here today. Time now for Star Watch, brought to you by Ashley Home Store. Mark?
Yes. PK, they call him. Pranav Kumar transferred from Texas A&M, where he was playing on a really deep team, but the opportunity to be not just getting a grad degree here in finance, but to offer SMU an opportunity to take a local player from the Lake State Liquor Academy and turn him into an outstanding contributor for a program that's now in the top 25.
And he will play the number 4 singles spot for SMU and also be in doubles as well. Let's take a look at today's keys to success presented by Geico.
Yes, I think in Memphis's control, the center of the court is a big deal. A lot of big guys with big forehands, they want to try to come forward. Winning points, I think early in the games, particularly getting up 15-love, I think will be key for them as they're trying to send that message that we're going to win today. And shortening the points in doubles, they have the ability to do that. And I think the longer the scramble points go, sometimes it's going to be SMU's favor in doubles. I think on the SMU side, returning well in doubles against the big servers and trying to get some breaks early is key. These no-ad battles early, I think, are important because that's a momentum swinger in these matches. And then SMU has a big roster. The seventh man up here in the crowd, they get loud, they get crazy, and they keep their guys pumped up. How are they going to be able to, I think, motivate their players, but also have Memphis a little bit tight in some key situations?
Absolutely. You talk about motivation. The winner of this one will win their first American Athletic Conference championship. And we'll have the action coming up next. It's doubles first. Number 2, Memphis. Number 1, SMU for the championship of the American Athletic Conference.
Have to catch an early train, gotta be to work. Have to catch an early train, gotta be to work. Have to catch an early train, gotta be to work. And an airplane, I still couldn't make it on time. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. Have to catch an early train, gotta be to work by 9. And if I had an airplane, I still couldn't make it on time. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
It's playoffs time, and nothing is given. The question is, will you take it?
We're back inside the Michael D. Case Tennis Center here on the campus of the University of Tulsa. In inclement weather forcing us to go back inside once again for this championship now. And looking at the doubles tandems here for these two teams in the championship of the American Athletic Conference. On court one for Memphis, Stevenson and Taylor taking on Neff and Pranav Kumar as the number one for the SMU Mustangs. Oscar Cutting and Pablo Almani will go up against Ivan Thama and Caleb Chavrak-Arthi. Chavrak-Arthi and Thama on the SMU group. And then Patrick Cito and Pau Fanlo for Memphis against Julian Steinhausen and Huntley Allen. All right, let's check in with the third partner, in, if you will, in our broadcast. It is Brianna Sorensen down on the sidelines. Brianna, what do you have going?
Yeah, I spoke to SMU head coach Grant Ched, and I asked him what are his thoughts on the doubles point, and he described the doubles point as an emotional roller coaster. He said that they just have to roll with the punches and focus on their side of the tennis court. He said while the doubles point is important, it does not determine a match. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Brianna. We'll look forward to more reporting from down below and also wherever she finds herself. And it's Tulsa. Tulsa, Oklahoma is the site, and it's SMU taking on Memphis here. And in this doubles point, Mark, SMU has won 21 out of their 27. Memphis has won 15 of their 22. Really good doubles point teams.
Absolutely, both strong. And I think it's not just whether or not the team is ranked maybe in the NCAA rankings. It's about the chemistry and how they get along, how they bond. On the SMU side, that's a really strong team at the bottom that has played. Steinhaus and Allen have played together for a lot and been very successful. I think Stevenson and Taylor clearly are a top 30 NCAA ranked team, but I think that the SMU team at 3 is just as formidable in terms of effectiveness. So it could come down to 2.
Right. And that Stevenson-Taylor group, as you mentioned, top 30, they're 27 coming into this week. And they have beaten 2 top 10 doubles teams. So very interesting. And you see, of course, our quad box, if you will, as we get it underway. And on court 1, they have started. And on doubles 3, you see it in the upper right, doubles 2 in the lower left as we get it underway. Very important, the doubles point, because you get into singles, and whoever's won that doubles point only has to split the 6 singles matches. Adam Neff and Pranav Kumar in the near side for SMU. Neff with a good volley and Kumar with a put away.
You'll see the 2-back dynamic quite a bit because it's indoors. Things can move fast, and it gives the returning team an opportunity to try to work their way into the point as the balls are brand new, and they're trying to do their best to get the balls in play.
SMU coming in ranked number 26 in the nation. They are 21-6. Memphis is the number 2 seed, 16-6 overall. They're 36th in the national rankings. And, Mark, I don't think there's a whole lot of question. Both of these teams will be in the NCAA, obviously.
They are both going to be in. This is definitely a pride conference battle to prepare them. In SMU's case, a win could possibly, I think, just solidify what their program has done. In Memphis' case, a win could possibly move them in the rankings from a 3 seed to a 2 seed. So there's still some things at stake here.
And the winner of this will win their first American Athletic Conference championship. USF has won 5, Tulane has won 1, UCF has won 1 so far in the American Athletic Conference. And here in the early going on court 1, number 1 doubles, 30-30. And SMU wins the point. Again, Pranav Kumar with the put away. How important is it, to break serve early if you're a doubles team? Because it's only to 6, right? You're trying to get to that 6, and it can happen in a hurry, Mark.
Most certainly. An early break is an outstanding shot in the arm, and definitely a quick race to possibly having some scoreboard pressure across all 3 matches.
Already Memphis has won on court 3, which is doubles number 2. And so they have the 1-0 lead, and SMU now has 1-on-1. So there you have it. We're underway. We get a closer look here as we zoom in on court one. This is a very, very good doubles match between these two teams. Neff and Kumar 6-2. Stevenson and Taylor 12-5. And again, both teams very good doubles-wise. Both teams holding serve here in the early going of the two games that have been decided. One still to be decided over there on the far court on the right, doubles three, with Memphis up 40-30. Here's a closer look at court one. Stevenson on serve. And the winner for SMU is Stevenson's 6'5" and can just serve you off the court, can he?
He can, but he's also a big guy. So that great return by Neff down to his ankles was difficult for him to get low for that ball. It's all about shortening up things on the return.
Kumar can't get that one back. So the big serve for Stevenson. Obviously successful Stevenson out of Hertfordshire, England. That's in the southern UK. Jeremy Taylor is from Melbourne, Australia. And again, as we mentioned, they're number 27 doubles-wise and won both of their doubles matches during this tournament.
And they're running a little I formation, clearly out of respect to the last return from Neff.
Explain a little bit what the I formation is.
Player gets it low, gives a signal so he knows where the serve is going, and then the server knows where he's going to move in terms of right or left. Provides a little bit of a distraction.
That's a net serve, which of course has to be played, and it results in a Memphis point. So Memphis up 40-15.
Yeah, and to finish that comment, it caused a little bit of distraction for the returner and doesn't allow them to just focus on a good cross court down at the feet return target.
40-30 now. Good play by Neff. Again, a key moment here early as Memphis looks to hold serve. Second serve coming up for David Stevenson. SMU has one on number 3 doubles to go up 1-0. That is long. And Memphis has secured their first game. 1-1 now here on doubles number 1. Good look at Neff and Kumar. Neff from Bradenton, Florida. Kumar from Plano, Texas. The transfer from Texas A&M. And Mark, of course, had a nice close-up on him as one of our keys to the game, if you will, or one of the star watches of the game, if you will.
And he did graduate from Texas A&M. I want to qualify that comment. Graduated with a computer science degree and actually has earned a finance master's at SMU.
All right. Let's check in again with Brianna Sorensen. Go ahead, Brianna.
Yeah, I spoke to Memphis's head coach, Paul Goebel, and I said, why does this doubles duo, David Stevenson and Jeremy Taylor, have such great chemistry? He said this is their 4th year together and they're roommates, so they spend plenty of time together. They've been through a lot of ups and downs together after last season's trials, so they built that trust that's needed for this doubles duo. Coach said he truly believes that their pure chemistry they have is why they work so well on the court together. Back to you guys.
And certainly when it gets to the individuals coming up, you know, the doubles, the NCAA individual doubles competition, they'd be a dangerous out, I would think.
It's wide open always, the NCAA doubles. It's just about who plays well that week, those days, each match.
Of course, as you saw that graphic, both teams sport blue on occasion, and obviously for SMU red, but today it's blue for SMU and white for Memphis.
And to her, Brianna's comment, I did room with my doubles partner in college sophomore year, but I was about ready to kill him. So I think it can work very well like it did in Memphis's case, or sometimes it can actually work to the converse.
So that was when you were at DePaul, and what was it? Did he not clean up the kitchen or something? What was going on there?
And then some.
Well, if you've seen Mark Bay's attire, and he is dressed to the nines, you would know that he is fastidious. So I would bet that there were a few dirty dishes maybe that weren't Mark Bay's.
That's correct. I was raised by Veronica, and dirty dishes are not an option.
There you go. And again, a very good serve by Kumar. And SMU has won their second game 2-1 on doubles number one. And you hear the shouting in the background. And what that is, Mark, is SMU brought, 17, 18 players. And those that are not involved, you only list 9, are up here in this foyer area and having quite a time. And they have made lots of noise, and they will make lots of noise.
That's the 7th man we talk about. Like the Seattle Seahawks talk about the 12th man there when you play at their stadium. In this case, Coach Grant Chin has a roster of 15 tennis players, and when they're not playing, their job is to do support.
Yeah.
They've got to get behind their teammates, and I feel maybe in years past, the Notre Dames or the North Carolinas of the world had really big rosters, but I think it's shrunk and condensed a lot more for budgets and different reasons. So,
well, and you saw the shot of those young gentlemen making lots of noise, as you might expect, but Coach Chen says it really helps practice because you have different schedules for classes and that sort of thing. And sometimes you'll go to a practice shorthanded, not at SMU. They got enough guys to hit and be able to conduct a full practice, even if they have somebody that's in class.
That's true.
Here we are on the quad box again with doubles upper left. It's 2-1 SMU in that one. 30-30 on doubles 3, as you can see. Looks like everybody's still on serve at this point. And again, the big deal is you get to 6 and it's over. .30-love lead for SMU in doubles 2. And again, on serve, SMU looking to get it to 2-2. That matchup in number 2 doubles right now at 2-1 in favor of SMU. I'm sorry, 2-1 in favor of Memphis over there on number 2 doubles. On number 3, SMU leads 2-1. And again, everybody's still on serve, right? From what I can tell. Trying to watch 3 matches at once. And there's SMU winning.
Yes, they're all still on serve.
Winning the point and getting to 40-15. Neff goes long on court 1. And now Memphis leads 40-15 in their effort to stay on serve. And this is Jeremy Taylor serving there in the upper left-hand quadrant. Big scoreboard here at the University of Tulsa helps you keep track. And 6 courts here inside at the Michael D. Case Tennis Center. That's a great return. However, Neff hits it long, in #1 doubles, and Memphis has won that game to go to 2-2. 2-2 on #1 and #2 doubles.
Court 3's moving a little bit slower, and the reason is that the SMU team tends to serve and stay back and not serve volley as much. So it takes a little bit longer for some of the points to develop at the 3 position.
Memphis with a nice volley on #1.
Not that easy lobbing over a guy 6'5".
No. SMU on serve and #1 and leading 30-15. And you can hear the noise. When you hear more noise, it means that SMU obviously is doing some things right, because their folks are hooting and hollering, including their fans, but also including some of those extra players, if you will. There's a closer look now at #2 doubles. SMU up 40-15 in a 2-2 matchup. And this is a break opportunity for SMU.
Yeah, it was an outstanding volley by Caleb, falling down backwards.
Good strong play by Memphis on that one.
Great serve on the back of the line.
Shaq Revarthy could not handle that one, and so they saved the one break possibility. On serve is Pablo Almani. And Cutting is able to knock that one home. And so now we go to deciding point. Still a chance for SMU to get a break. SMU has evened things on #3 doubles at 2-2. Again, still on serve, but this is a first big opportunity for a break in this one.
And it was just a no-ad point.
Second service here. And Cutting gets the job done for Memphis. They save a couple of break points, and Memphis stays on serve in #2 doubles.
And that's a big-time move. Cutting cuts across, pun intended, and sticks the backhand volley often on the ad side point. Some people are gun-shy and they don't move on the backhand volley. He is looking, and he's taken off, and that's a full move on a second serve. That, in some circles, would be a gamble, but I think it's also great offensive doubles at a key moment. So big hold there, because there's a lot of momentum going SMU's way during the early parts of that game.
Cutting and Almani 7-3 as a team, and now we go to 3 doubles, #3 doubles. Patrick Cito and Pau Fanlo for Memphis, and then Julian Steinhausen and Huntley Allen for SMU. Steinhausen on serve. Memphis up 15 love. according to the scoreboard. So now that's a good return, and if the scoreboard is correct, it looks like it's 30 love for Memphis, and this may be an opportunity for Memphis to break. Cito, Fanlo for Memphis. On the near side, Steinhausen and Allen.
And every time that first serve is missed in doubles, it's an offensive opportunity for the other team. So as you see, they made a court position change. And that's a great return. Puts pressure on the server now at love 30 to do something with that forehand, and with the errant miss wide, it is not one, not two, not three, but four.
4 break points, huh?
Break points. Big moment.
Yep. Steinhausen to serve here for SMU. This doubles group 17-5 on the year. And that is a break. So SMU loses serve, and the first break we've seen here in this doubles competition.
Great decision, great read. Clearly, he realized that there was probably going to be a move. Allen was going to look to try to get involved to help his partner out. It's a wonderful time to go down the line back behind him for the winner.
We go to number 1 doubles. It is 30-30, 3-2 in favor of SMU. Still on serve. Stevenson to serve. And that sitter was taken care of quite easily by Navav Kumar.
Big time return, and then another great second shot. Recognized that the net player was a little further away from the net, so he went hard back at him low.
So an opportunity here for SMU to break. Lots of communication, isn't there, in these doubles matches prior to every single point, huh?
Necessary. There's a lot of scheming in doubles, and it's successful and helpful.
So Memphis has a break over on number 3 doubles. SMU trying to get a break here on number 1. That one goes long. So we'll go to the deciding point here, and another opportunity for SMU to break, and an opportunity for Memphis to stay on serve.
And you can see the seventh men, not man, the seventh men are all around the glass here.
Deciding point. Second service now for David Stevenson. And SMU gets the break.
That's textbook. What a backhand fade return. He ran around the forehand and hit a fade backhand return low, and Neff could not have closed and crossed and poached on time. This is textbook. Down, volley, move, through the middle. Outstanding doubles.
So SMU leads number 1 doubles 4-2. And so we have a break, and we're taking a break. We have a break for Memphis, a break for SMU, and we'll take a commercial break as we continue here in the American Athletic Conference Championships on ESPN from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Have to catch an early train Gotta be to work by 9. And if I had an airplane, I still couldn't make it on time. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Do you think any of us will look back in our lives and regret the things we didn't buy? Or the places we didn't go?
It's playoffs time, and greatness is for the taking.
Coverage of the American Women's Lacrosse Championship starts on May 5th. Catch both the semifinals and the final from East Carolina's Johnson Stadium exclusively on ESPN+. That's the American Athletic Conference Women's Lacrosse Championships starting on May 5th. Well, in the American Athletic Conference Men's Tennis Championships, it is SMU and Memphis. SMU winning the earlier meeting 4-0 earlier this year. And there's a look. You got a break on one side, and then you have doubles number 2 is on serve.
No doubt, but it's a little bit ironic. I think Stevenson and Taylor were the favorites at 1. Seinhausen and Allen the favorites at 3. So those plots have
kind of turned
reversed.
over. Yeah.
And we said it might come down to 2. And so far, that early piece could be accurate.
Shaq Rivarthi with a really nice volley, and SMU now up 40-30 at number 2 doubles. That's what we're looking at right now.
Double break opportunity.
This is a break chance, yeah.
And they had 3 of them a few games ago. So they've been knocking on the door here.
And they get a second serve. And they get the break. So now you have SMU with 2 breaks. And on one, it's gone to 40-40, a deciding point coming up.
Very important deciding point.
If Memphis can win this, obviously, they get back on serve.
And if not, there's some scoreboard separation here in favor of SMU at the top.
Yep. Pranav Kumar. Long and a second serve. That is long, and it goes to SMU.
That's
so they hold and
solidify,
huh?
Great strength. And yesterday we saw some high backhand volleys missed on the women's side. These guys are just taller and a little bit more brawn up top, and they can get more pop on it. In tennis, it's not an easy shot to do that.
Yeah.
But he was able to take that and get enough force to actually have the error from Taylor.
So again, SMU has 1 break on number 1. You take a look at Pranav Kumar and Adam Neff, and now we go to number 3 doubles, and that is where Memphis still has a break, and they win that point.
Double break.
And now up 5-2. So a couple of 5-2s right now.
I think that at that position, indoors, I think staying back puts you in a little bit more of a vulnerable position. I think outside, staying back doesn't hurt you as much. You can rip some ground strokes in the wind and what have you, but I think indoors, not taking control of the net without the distraction of the sun and the wind possibly could be the issue at number 3 doubles for SMU.
So back to what may end up being the decisive match here in this doubles point. SMU serving with a break, 15-love, and leading 4-3. Second serve for Ivan Thama. graduate senior from San Diego, transfer from UC Davis.
Big moments, and missed returns are costly at this stage. You want to get every ball in play. You need to make sure that that team executes and you're not donating to their cause.
.30 love. And again, trying to solidify the break that they had just moments ago. That's wide. Cutting and Almany Malaya for Memphis. Actually, Pablo prefers to go by Pablo Almany now. Here you see head coach Grant Shin of SMU. Memphis wins the point there and draws even at 30-30. It's a huge comeback here for Memphis if they can get it.
This game is arguably the difference maker.
You got a good look at Grant Shin moments ago in his fourth year at SMU. 62-42, has not been to the NCAAs, although SMU has great tradition, having gone to 23 NCAA tournaments. But Grant Shin only was hired, in 2018, so he has built the program and built it from the ground up and built it basically on a tank of gas, starting internally in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and then moving outward. That is a wonderful shot by Memphis. And Oscar Cutting got it done there, huh?
With a couple volleys missed, they were a bit apprehensive. They made the volleys, but just didn't have that killer instinct to close and finish off the volleys, and that ball rips through the middle. Always why the middle is encouraged as a location choice for ground strokes.
So 2 break opportunities here for Memphis to get back on serve. They're in number 2 doubles. Thama with the serve. And Memphis breaks back. And so now we're at 4-4. And over at court 1, number 1, we have set point. And SMU has just won number 1 doubles, and that is a little bit of a surprise against the number 27 Stevenson-Taylor combination, huh?
Yeah, it's a great win for SMU. And just behind us to our right is now the 7th woman, the Memphis Tigers, the Lady Tigers, who are the champs from yesterday, are now in. They've come and had their breakfast and their coffee, and now they are pumped up and cheering for their team.
Yeah, why not hang out? You just won a championship. I'm sure you had some sort of party, and so come on out and cheer on the guys, huh?
One of the best parts of college tennis is when the actually men and women's teams often are traveling and playing on opposite places can be together and show that type of camaraderie.
Break opportunity here for SMU to try to get back in it, and they get the break. So SMU makes it 5-3 in number 3 doubles. But they are still down a break. So 1 has gone to SMU. Memphis was serving to even things out in this doubles point. However, SMU gets the break, and so we'll have to hold on over there in number 3. Good look at Adam Neff, the sophomore from Bradenton, Florida, along with his partner, Pranav Kumar. And that's the thing. You go and you win a doubles match, and then you turn and root your teammates on, right?
Most certainly.
This is number 2 doubles, as SMU and Memphis tied 4-4, and Memphis coming off of that momentum, 40 love now, and ready to make it a 5-4 match. Almany on serve. And they get a relatively easy service winning game. 5-4 Memphis. And obviously we'll keep an eye on number 3 doubles with Memphis still with the advantage with the one break. But boy, I don't think there's any question. Number 2 doubles is where this is going to be decided most likely, huh?
Yes.
Now we look at number 3, which is at 15-15. Memphis leading 5-3. SMU serving. Steinhausen to serve for the Mustangs. Huntley Allen, the guy you see crouched down there near the net, he is not in singles, so this is his contribution to SMU. He's playing doubles only. Oh, and he tried to volley it twice, and a nice attack there by Memphis.
But as you mentioned before, once the first serve is missed, and now you're playing second serve tennis, they can come on the attack and go right at him. He becomes an actual target up there with them both at the net.
Yeah.
That's why on the one-up, one-back team dynamic, the first serve, I think, is critical to set your partner up or possibly set your forehand. You know, your first ground stroke or your strong stroke from the back.
Cito and Fanlo.
And he's missing a lot of first serves here.
Yeah.
He's digging himself a hole.
Right now, just 2 points away from evening up this double situation. Very nice play by Allen. So now even at 30-30. Meantime, on number 2 doubles, SMU needs to hold serve in order to stay alive. Memphis leading 5-4 over there. And now 40-30 in favor of SMU. And again, they're going to try to force, they win this game, they will force Memphis to try to win it on their serve.
Well, it's also just a collective team psychology. You never, even if you're going to lose a match, you want to stay out there as long as possible and keep your match hot so that the pressure is not on the actual last team to feel that last match on feeling. Keeping the energy between multiple courts is always helpful.
Just wide on the serve by Steinhausen. Some of the fans are hooting about a line call over on 2. And Memphis goes to the deciding point here. And this is set point for Memphis. SMU obviously trying to stay in it here at number 3.
I just think that the number 3 team needs to have employed some type of I formation or a gimmick or a full poach call. That there's, in my opinion, too much conceding of control of the net at the number 3 position here.
Well, Cito and Fanlo 6-4 this year as doubles tandem. Steinhausen and Allen 17-5. So as you mentioned, SMU the favorites, but you never know.
Any given Sunday, Bruce.
Mm-hmm. Deciding point here. Doubles number 3. Just long. And SMU stays alive. 5-4 now in favor of Memphis, and the Tigers will serve for number 3 doubles in a moment. Back to 2.
Oh, he was looking to try to move and get involved. That was triple game point for SMU there to try to go 5-all. As he was fading and cheating, the actual return was at perfect. It was on his back hip, which is it's just not an easy place to try to finish a poach from. I'm not sure that was the design on the return, but ended up being an extremely effective one.
Memphis charges, I should say SMU charges the net, but Memphis wins, and now we have a set point here for the Tigers.
It's a big, big flip because SMU had the 4-2 lead here.
And they had 40-15 in this game.
And break points in another game. So they've been all over this particular one. Be one heck of a role reversal and put them in the driver's seat for this doubles point.
Five, 4 Memphis on both number 2 and number 3 doubles. This is Caleb Chakravarthy from Irvine, California on serve. Great serve.
Wow. I tell you, the quality of the second serve was deep and low and gave his partner a chance. See, like, look how low this lands, how deep it is. That's not, on a moment like that, to be able to hit a second serve of that quality is a big-time play there.
No question.
Outstanding finish.
If that thing squeaks wide, it's match, right?
If it's sat up a little bit higher, then Memphis has the ability to have a bit more leverage.
Memphis.
And that's the ladies' team cheering for their guys.
Let's go to number 3 now, where Memphis leads 30-love and 5-4, trying to capture and even up this doubles point. Memphis on serve. Cito and Fanlo. Cito serving, young man from Aruba. His dad played at Georgia Tech. And now it's 40-love. Quadruple match point for this Memphis doubles team. Cito, the young man with the cap, has 2 older brothers also playing Division I tennis.
Well, he's really comfortable. It's not by accident that he's in the doubles lineup in Rock Isn't. His movement without the ball, the adjustment steps, his closing, he's made some big-time reflex, and I think finishing volleys all set long.
And that one is out, and Memphis has evened things up.
But they're coming forward, making more first serves, executing under pressure, and deserving of winning the number 3 position today.
So now the doubles point is tied 1-1. You see again Cito, who will not be in the singles. He'll be playing on the Aruba Davis Cup team with his brother and brings great energy, and now he will use that energy to cheer his number 2 doubles team on. And at number 2, 5-5 is what the scoreboard shows, but they are sitting down, so we're going to see the update on the scoreboard.
6-5 Memphis.
Should be 6-5 Memphis. They were up 40-love. So now it all comes down to this. SMU will serve to try to send it to a tiebreaker. And Memphis will try to break serve and win the doubles point for the Tigers. You see on the far side there the head coach, Paul Goebel, for Memphis in his 18th year. He has taken Memphis to all 7 of their NCAA tournaments. The former assistant at Memphis, started in 2004 for the Tigers. And so there you see it. Doubles 1 going to SMU, doubles 3 to Memphis. And here you go. Yesterday's women's doubles point came down to a tiebreaker with Tulsa and Memphis, with Tulsa winning the doubles point. But first, Memphis must hold. That is a double fault.
He moves into the court quite a bit on the serve, and it gives you a bit of a head start, if you will, on the serve and volley. But in this case, just with a little bit of tension and nerves, he didn't have great balance as he launched into that, and he was chasing it a bit too far. In tennis, you actually can stop your toss if you want.
Chakravarthy with a couple of really good volleys forces the long shot by Memphis. And so it's 15-15 here again as SMU tries to hold serve and send it to the tiebreaker.
Well, Ncaa just holding his ground, and that could have been trouble here. Overplayed by Cutting.
Yeah, Ivan Ncaa is the server and the young man that kind of forced that point, didn't he?
He made a nice response after sometimes you double fault in the very first point of the game and it's not good. He's done a nice job, in my opinion, of choosing to just spin his first serve in now and make his first volley, accept the fact that he's going to get a ball, build the wall, keep fighting until you get the job done.
30-15. Ncaa's serve forces a long.
And so he really has learned his lesson, Bruce, because after doubling, he's made every serve. He's taken pace off. This is a good lesson for everybody that's out there. No matter how big your serve is, if you're missing first serves, you're not as effective as a doubles player, as a doubles team.
Ncaa was on the Junior Davis Cup team with Grant Chen a few years back. So they've known each other for a long time. Ncaa and SMU trying to get it to the tiebreaker, which will decide the doubles point here in the American Athletic Conference Championship matchup.
They get it done. That's a heck of a hold there, down 5-6. And to your comment, the Junior Davis Cup team, Grant Chen was coaching a junior tournament for the Southern California section, and they were two juniors. Caleb and Ncaa were on that team, so they were both part of that. So this relationship that they've had has extended back several years, obviously 4 years to be exact.
So here we go to the tiebreaker, 1-7 by 2. Will take the point. Ncaa with the winner.
That's great effort. The hustle, the presence of mind to play the field, slice back up the line, and then instead of standing there in the your ball, my ball, he's moving like every ball is his. Anything that is slow moving when you're at the net should be yours. You should be moving with that mentality. It's only 1 point, but I think there's a lot of momentum behind that, especially coming from that 5-6 hold.
Absolutely. So it's kind of what you would call the mini break. Chakravarthy on serve. And into the net. And so now we're evened at 1.
Yeah, so that's a bad error there. The other team is both back. You need to play that shot actually through the middle, not to the outside. Regardless, he shouldn't miss it, whichever target he was going for. He had a ball with time, so going to have to regroup here.
Good look at Paul Goebel, who is the head coach at Memphis. Tigers at number 36 as a team ranking and in good shape, obviously, for the NCAAs.
Oh, geez, Coach Ballboy.
Wonderful net play by Memphis.
But to me, Ncaa should actually move and take that. That serve kicked up into Cutting's one-hand backhand. He didn't hit it that well. It was a slow-moving ball. Ncaa doesn't move on it. Cutting comes in and closes. Paul's like, we got away with one there. He's smiling because he knows that was a poachable ball, but his team just was willing to be aggressive and come forward, and that's so far been the winning formula for Memphis from 3 doubles.
Now Memphis on serve. Cutting and Almany leading 2-1, but now 2-2.
Oh, my goodness. That's a tough one for me, Coach, because I'm a big believer in the one-hand backhand volley, the traditional releasing. I want to have those hands separate. Right there when you get nervous and tight and both hands are on, you dump it in the net sometimes.
2-2. The tiebreaker. Amazing how successful you can be when you get that first serve in, huh?
But it's good double serving. Right into the body. Take a little pace off. Have your partner make a presence.
Oscar Cutting is the server. Almany staying back. Memphis leading 3-2. I'm sorry, that point went to Memphis, and now it's SMU serving. Almany with a really nice forehand there, and now it's 4-2 as Memphis has the advantage, and now at the 6th point, the two teams will switch it up. Now, you being a great coach of the Bryan brothers through the years and coaching and playing both singles and doubles, what did you like most? Did it matter?
Between singles and doubles?
Right. Did you enjoy playing singles more or doubles more?
I'm old. Back when I played, they played singles first, and then they played doubles second. I played in 85, 89 for Hall of Fame coach George Law, who was an 11-time doubles Grand Slam winner and number 2 in the world behind Bill Tillman. So he was an old school guy, and he was all about the net and coming forward, and I like doing that, whether it was singles or doubles.
Memphis up now,
and
5-2.
And that was smart, because if Ncaa is going to take pace off and just spin it in, there's no reason for you to play both back. They can actually be in a more offensive posture on the return team.
Memphis 2 points away from securing the doubles point here in this American Athletic Conference Championship.
And then they're going to use a little bit of gimmick just to make sure.
Almany on serve. And the winner by Almany. So now you have, 4 set points for doubles points, if you will.
It's a big-time backhand there. It's an inside-out rocket he hit, and he almost had the camouflage of his partner's back in terms of being able to read the shot. It's just a good read on the net coverage.
And Memphis has captured the doubles point. Remember, in the earlier meeting, it was SMU winning the doubles point, and Ncaa and Chakravarthy can't hold on, and Cutting and Almany celebrate a doubles point victory. That's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, they flipped that one. That's a great match, and I think Coach Goebel thought that was going to be the swing match and the key one, and that's why he sat on that one until the end and was able to successfully get that job done. And now we got a match on our hands, folks, because I feel going into this match that doubles was a toss-up, and it was going down to a breaker at the end.
So Cutting and Almany get it done, and Memphis leads 1-0. Let's go to Brianna Sorensen, who has head coach Paul Goebel.
Coach, you just won the doubles point. How nice is that momentum now going into singles?
Yeah, it's always great to get it. It's a very, very important point in college tennis. It was exciting. Every court was a lot of action. Proud of our guys because we didn't start that great, but then we kept our composure and we were able to pull it out. But we know there's a long way to go.
You have such talented doubles duos. How is that a testament to the chemistry on this team?
Well, thanks. It's talent and some hard work, and we put in a lot of doubles practice, so it's nice to see it pay off in pressure situations.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Brianna. So it's 1-0 Memphis as they capture the doubles points. 6 singles matches coming up next from Tulsa. Memphis and SMU for the American Athletic Conference Championship here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
to catch an early train, gotta be to work by 9. And if I had an airplane, I still couldn't make it on time. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Stuff. We love stuff, and there's some really great stuff out there. But I doubt that any of us will look back in our lives and think, I wish I'd bought an even thinner TV, found a lighter light beer, or had an even smarter smartphone. Do you think any of us will look back in our lives and regret the things we didn't buy? Or the places we didn't go?
Coverage of the American Athletic Conference Softball Championships begin May 12th from the Max R. Joyner Family Stadium on the campus of East Carolina University. Follow all the action through the semifinals exclusively on ESPN+, and then catch the championship game on ESPN2, and that championship game May 14th at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. The American Athletic Conference Softball Championships from Greenville, North Carolina. So here's a look at what has happened so far in this championship between Memphis and SMU. The Tigers winning the doubles point, and again, it came down to doubles 2, and Cutting and Almani Malaya doing a terrific job of finishing things out for the Memphis Tigers.
I feel that the team is just committed to a consistent, solid, doubles coming forward type of product. And Thama and Chakravarti were, I think, in the emotional driver's seat and the scoreboard driver's seat, and then the execution just failed them. Some first serves, a couple missed volleys, a few missed ground strokes. It just was some doubles, unforced errors, and I think it's a little bit more solid performance by Memphis at number 2.
All right, here we go to the singles. Stevenson and Neff at number 1. Number 2 singles, it's Jeremy Taylor and Liam Krall. Krall was not involved in the doubles, but he is a terrific number 2 for SMU. Cutting and Chakravarti will be at number 3. And then at 4, it's Almani and Kumar, and Fanlo and Steinhausen at number 5. And then Harry Rock, who did not perform in the doubles, against Ivan Thama at number 6. And we talked about this, and you can do all of the predicting and that sort of thing coming into the singles. Hard to tell what will happen, but you did have kind of an idea of who might be at least favored one way or the other in these singles, right?
Yeah, it's tough. You'd say maybe Memphis favored at 1 and 4. Kumar is an outstanding point for them, but Almani hasn't lost. And I'd say maybe at number 2 you'd favor SMU at 2 and 6, and then maybe 3 and 5 are the swing points. So at this stage, SMU is going to have to get 4 of them some kind of way, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter which one happens, right?
Right.
Ultimately, this is going to be a battle, and I would much rather be starting this battle with doubles in my pocket.
Absolutely. Memphis leads 1-0, and we will begin on court 1. Adam Neff and David Stevenson, 2 guys that can power you off the court. Neff, 15 and 14 record for SMU in singles, number 1, and Stevenson is 12 and 8 at that number 1 position. That was wide.
Called good.
Oh, did they call it good?
Yeah, good sportsmanship by Stevenson there. It's that, from our vantage point, because we're right on that line, was just a hair wide, but very fair call by Stevenson. Good sportsmanship. And like I said yesterday, the sportsmanship has been very good all tournament long.
Absolutely. And we talked about this yesterday, Mark, that when you say sportsmanship, a lot of what you're talking about is guys calling their own lines, and if it's out, it's out. And, you know, the chair umpire can overrule or correct or whatever, but You know, it's not like the pros where you have all those line umpires and that sort of thing, or the computerized system, right?
No doubt. But 99% out is still 100% in. And sometimes when things get tight and people get nervous, sometimes the benefit of the doubt isn't given. And the true reason why the referees are there is exactly that the benefit of the doubt is given because there's a possibility of an arbiter.
Big second serve for Stevenson. SMU still leads 30-15 as Adam Neff got the first couple of points. David Stevenson, we mentioned he's from southern UK, southern England, Hertfordshire. Fourth-year junior for head coach Goebel. And now he's evened it up at 30-30. He had a big win yesterday against Tulsa, beat Cody Pearson, who may end up being the player of the year in the American Athletic Conference from Tulsa.
Absolutely.
It was a huge win as Memphis went on to the 4-3 victory. Stevenson was in the NCAA doubles competition last year. That is a fault, so it'll be second serve at 30 all here in this first game.
So it's an interesting choice there to go to the chip. He had enough time to hit that one. So I'm not sure why he chose that. I think it's out of respect to Stevenson's serve and his quality in his mind. He's thinking just block it and get it back in. But he just actually mentally showed you with his racket that he corrected himself and said, yeah, I should hit that one.
Neff won the meeting earlier this year against Stevenson 7-6, 7-5 in the matchup. Won by SMU 4-0. That was back on April 4th. That wasn't that long ago. Now we go to deciding point at 40-40. Stevenson, as we mentioned, 12-8 on the season. Neff is, we mentioned, 15-14, but he's only 4-9 at the number one position for SMU. Neff winning his two matches so far in the tournament. Stevenson did not finish in his first match and then won yesterday, as we mentioned, and he wins that point.
Neff wasn't sure whether that serve was on or not. And again, that's part of that benefit of the doubt. Both guys gave each other the benefit of the doubt.
Let's go to court 6 now. Thama against Rock.
Always curious to see how the player that's been sitting out and didn't play in the doubles starts their singles matches. It's good, solid tennis there by Rock. Quality ground stroking, big serve, moves the ball around, and all of these Memphis guys, they play great positional volleying tennis inside the service box, the whole team. So it's credit to Coach Goebel and what he does with his players.
So Rock wins to go to 1-0 at 6. Now let's go to number 3 with Cutting and Chakravarthy. Chakravarthy on serve. Transfer from Illinois. And that will go to deciding point. This is the first game between these two. Cutting from Bury St. Edmunds, England. That's northeast of London. 6'2" junior in his fourth year. They have a lot of fourth-year juniors on this Memphis team, which means they'll play again next year, of course. Cutting actually started the year at the number 1 singles position, but was only 4-11 at number 1. Gets the pass and gets the break.
come into the net, when you volley to the open court, if you don't put enough on it to finish, you open up some angles to be possibly passed.
We go to number 2 singles, Crawl and Taylor. Our first look at Crawl there in the near court. Crawl has been great this year. 24-7, his singles record. 16-3 in the duels. And 10-2 at this number 2 position. But he goes wide on that one. 15-all. Jeremy Taylor from Melbourne, Australia. Good all-court battler. Coach Goebel says he's a hustler, goes all over the court.
That's a big-time shot. And Crawl's no stranger to playing indoors. Top 5 in the eastern section. Played in the McEnroe Academy out east. Big serve, big forehand game. This Mother Nature pushing us inside. It's got him right in a comfortable position all tournament long. He can overplay sometimes. He hits big. His ball moves through the court. Early in the match when the balls are brand new too, favors his big shots if he can land them. But he has to just make sure to temper that with the unforced errors from behind the baseline when he's not in position to finish.
Jeremy Taylor serving at 30-30. This one on serve in the first set.
That's good tennis. He did a nice job deep in the court, moving his feet and getting around the ball so he had enough space. And there, instead of overplaying, he just pressured by court position. Then he was able to get in there and finish the volley. That's a good ball there. Great depth on that. Simple volley short.
Powerful ground strokes. Crawl out of Bronxville, New York, which is northeast of New York City.
Big time. He's going to get some opportunity as he tries to play through the Taylor forehand.
So SMU wins the point, wins the game, gets the break.
Yeah, this is definitely that's a favorite matchup, I think, for SMU today. Just the way the indoor court and these two guys play.
Chakravarthy and Cutting back at number 3. With Memphis leading 1-0, and now a break here for Cutting. A break opportunity, I should say. Break point. 40-30. I'm sorry, a correction. This is actually, he has already broken once, so he's trying to solidify the break, and does.
That's a big-time forehand. He has a slightly different beginning on the forehand. He doesn't take the racket as high as most, especially for his height. But the acceleration and the racket head speed he generates allows him to hit a lot of winners from that wing.
So he leads 2-0, has a break. And back to number 2 with Crawl and Taylor. And again, that is also 2-0. Crawl at 30 love. That one will be halted because an errant ball from another court came through there. Crawl is Coach Chen mentioned, had been recruited by a few of the so-called blue bloods, but they were telling him, you know, you might be the 7th or 8th guy. And obviously Liam thought, hey, I'm better than that, and I can certainly play. And, boy, has he been a really good player for SMU.
What's tough, unfortunately, with recruiting now is some schools may be challenged with budgets and getting a chance to go and watch players instead of staying connected to, okay, McEnroe's Academy or different academies have done a good job making players. Sometimes it's kind of computer recruiting. And it's, oh, you have a UTR of 11.3. My lowest guy is an 11.9. You may not be able to help us. So I think that hopefully, especially what Grant Chen has done here with a bunch of American players, getting a top 25 team. And I haven't seen top 25 teams that have been All-American in quite some time. I can remember the great Stanford teams and Illinois teams that are championships with a lot of pro players, but just guys that are solid sectional players from California and the Midwest and New York. This is the first I've seen in a while, and I think Grant deserves a lot of respect and credit for what he's been able to do.
Absolutely, and Crawl goes up 3-0. And now we're back at 3 with Cutting and Chakravarthy. Memphis ahead 2-0 at number 3 with Cutting. Chakravarthy to serve.
Oh, wow. If I was going to challenge his one-hand backhand, I would do it by coming in a little bit deeper, not shorter, because shorter balls, the one-hander is more versatile with the slicing and the rolling and things. I think really pinning that approach shot deep and coming in might be a better entry route for him. It's big moments here. You don't want to get down 2 breaks. Definitely this is a match that indoors is favoring the game style of Cutting.
And a second serve for Cutting. This one is tied 30-30 right now in the game 3. As Mark mentioned, Cutting already has a break. 40-30 for SMU's Chakravarthy.
Yeah, that's what he really needs to do, is get the point extended, establish some depth early on so he can try to break down the Cutting backhand, make Cutting have to move and play more east-west and not as north-south coming forward.
I think Chakravarthy thought his serve was long. And he is questioning that, but it ends up being a ball played and a point that counts.
And that C on his shirt, for those that are not familiar with that, that always means captain.
Right.
Whenever you see the C, you see that often at Sam Riffis at Florida. Some schools really are big on the prestige and the history of that, and they make sure that the captain has a slightly different shirt than everyone else.
Deciding point here, and a chance again for Cutting to have 2 breaks. Chakravarthy defeated Jeremy Taylor in the earlier meeting. Taylor, of course, playing at 2 for Memphis in straight sets. Ruled good. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, yeah, that's a tough one. We're not able to see from here.
I'm not even certain on a replay if we could see that very well.
Yeah, we don't see that from here. On the near sideline, I made that mention yesterday, that a near sideline call is always going to appear to be good to the referee, I think, optically, when it's really, really millimeter close.
Well, let's take a look at it, because obviously Cutting ripped it down the line. Boy, hard to tell from here, isn't it?
Yeah, we're a bit too far away.
So Cutting gets the break and goes to 3-0 now. And we head to court number 6 and Harry Rock and Ivan Thama. And right now it's Thama leading 2-1 and 15-love. Thama in the far court. Thama's dad is from Russia. Thama's mom is from Laos. It's that one into the net, but Ivan Thama's dad, Alex, from Russia, and mom, Kyo, is from Laos. Coach Chen says he has a really terrific personality, easygoing, kind of laid-back California kid from San Diego.
And San Diego is as laid back as it gets. Great town. Love San Diego.
And then the other side, Coach Goebel said with Harry Rock, he's a freshman, and he wants him to be more aggressive, get to the net a little bit more. Rock 8-5 in his record at number 6. That is wide, and it's 30-15, Thama.
And that's an important decision there. Quick wheels, great technique, but his feet were not just set there. That isn't the time. If your feet aren't set, you don't have time. That isn't the time to go inside in on that shot. You have to go inside out one more time, be settled, and then can go forward on the inside in. This is what Thama wants. He wants to create longer rallies. He wants to make it boring, make it about movement and decision making. And then occasionally Thama will step up and crunch a backhand and make a net appearance. So he kind of lulls you and milks unforced errors, and then occasionally rushes you. And it's a good game style, I think, for this matchup.
Thama has a degree in communications from UC Davis and working on a business management major at SMU. He already has a break, looking to consolidate here.
And there he is. He draws the forehand unforced error. And I feel like also not playing doubles and you haven't been hitting, you maybe go hit a couple balls during the end of the doubles point, but it's a little different when you start out and you haven't been in the flow of the match and the game yet.
Right. Now there are 6 courts here, so doubles were on the one side, and you can hit some balls on the other side, but still, it's not like a game action that you're getting that intensity of playing in a doubles match.
That's right.
We just went to 1, which just finished off. And right now, Neff leads 3-2 over Stevenson. And we go to 3 for just a moment. Cutting and Chakravarthy. And again, Cutting has the 3-1 advantage there. Chakravarthy on serve, leading 15-love. And remember, it was moments ago that Caleb was really upset with a line call situation. He was upset with a serve situation as well, right?
He's a cool customer, but he's lost a couple no-ad points, and obviously one of them on an overrule. So he's going to have to rely on a lot of mental toughness and inner strength here to settle in and just keep playing. He battles hard. Outstanding kid, wonderful parents. They're here with his dog. His dog's been a great cheering fan as well. You have to meet them and spend some time with them. But this is the story right now. Memphis needs 3 of these. So any number to the right is a Memphis number. So at 3 and 4, Memphis has got 2 good positions going, but they need 3. SMU needs 4 winning scoreboards, and right now they barely have that. So if we're on our fantasy football meter again, right? We're at 51-49 in favor of Memphis right now, just slightly. But it's going to pendulum swing quite a bit today.
So you're not ready to do a projection and call this match, huh?
No, sir. Of all people, again, there's a lot of people in media that love to do the projections and the picks, right?
Right.
I just think that anything's possible, especially in collegiate sports.
And there are those that are not huge fans of the percentage chance to win in the middle of a game because that thing swings so drastically.
At this level, these guys are all so close. It's about who plays better under pressure, and I just enjoy watching that. To me, pressure performance is one of the best parts of enjoying viewing athletics at all levels, whether it's collegiate, professional, Olympics, how people handle that. And that's a great response by Caleb as a senior coming from 0-3 down to be back into a tighter set.
So it's 3-2 there on number 3. And we go back to 6 with Rock and Ncaa.
Oh,
there you have Rock.
Line.
There you have Rock getting to the net like Coach wants him to, huh?
Well, once you get down sometimes, your ears are going to be a little bit more open to Coach, right?
Yeah.
So you maybe had some ideas or started doing whatever you wanted in the beginning. But before this is over, all the coaches are going to have input on the tactics of what goes on. And that's the beauty of college tennis. You don't need a 20-second timeout. Bruce, you can just talk to the guy in between points, even in between serves, as long as you don't disrupt the flow of the game.
Right. So Rock with an important situation for him here to stay just one break down. That one is wide. No, it's called good. It is called good. And so now we'll go to deciding game here at 3-1 SMU at number 6. And now you have a situation where Rock can't believe the call. He thought it was out. Chair umpire said good. And now we'll go to deciding point. And you can see Coach Goebel right now with his arms outstretched. And, you know, he didn't have his arms outstretched to the chair umpire who made that call, but he was looking at his player with his arms outstretched.
Yeah, no, he's not too happy about that one, but... So, yeah, Ncaa wants to slow him down, lull him to sleep. Hey, let's play for a while. Hey, let's play for a while. Sure, let's hit some. Let's just have a rally. And now Rock wants to do this. Right. Hurt him, finish him, but he didn't do enough with it. But it gets away with it. He's got a great look at the pass, but he misses. Fortune favored the bold, and that is a key moment right there.
So he remains one break down, but with a big victory there. SMU still leads at number 6 with Ncaa 3-2.
Yeah, but that could have been 4-1-2 breaks.
Right. Here's Neff and Stevenson on court 1. Singles number 1. Right now, Neff leads 4-2 and 15-30. Trying to break again.
Bingo. Outstanding stuff by Neff. But Neff has sort of two roles in this match. First, he has to diffuse Stevenson. He has to diffuse the serve, diffuse the forehand, negate the power. But then once he gets control or gets it to a stalemate, he's got to step up and get in his face and play front court tennis like he did there. That is about as Neff of a point as you can get relative to where this match is sort of matching up on tactical paper.
Neff said. So now he has a couple of break points here. 3, in fact, against David Stevenson.
That's great defense, but still not good enough. That volley, not that easy. It looks easy on TV because the court's open, but he still had to hit that from below net level to the open court.
Seemed like that second serve, good, strong, deep, helped Stevenson obviously win the point. So now 40-30 and another break opportunity here for Neff.
And always interesting, the choice. Where does he go on the serve?
Terrific.
Wow, he goes big, but he goes into the forehand. He went fastball down the pipe, and Neff goes yard. Break 5-2 SMU at 1. Big statement.
And that's 2 breaks. And Neff will now serve for that first set. Now we're back to number 3. Chakravarthy and Cutting. Chakravarthy in the far part of the court. Cutting near court. Cutting leads 3-2 and 40-30. Trying to stay 1 break ahead here. Double fault. They go to deciding point. Wow.
Yeah, he tosses it up and then he moves a little bit. So it's an unstable base platform that he serves from. And you'll see that sometimes with some players. I tend to like a little bit more balanced footing before he goes up for the serve, but clearly it's probably something he's been doing for a long time. And he's got a live arm and a really good wrist, so he just needs to concentrate on that impact point so he can get the job done and not donate points when he has game points.
Chakravarthy with a chance now to break back and get back on serve here in this first set. So Cutting with a really good serve and wins the game, leads 4-2.
That is a big moment there because that's right on his racket. It's in his body. It's a jammer, but it's on his racket. He needs to put that one in play.
Going to go to 5 now. Steinhausen and Fanlo. Steinhausen in the far part of the court, and Pau Fanlo from Spain on the near side. 4-1. Steinhausen with the lead. Fanlo has a 30-15 lead on serve here.
And this is one of those swing matches that clearly, once you're down a doubles point, SMU needs.
Fanlo gets that point to go to 40-15. And again, he is right now down a break. Fanlo from Barcelona, Spain. Actually did a great job last year in their NCAA win over Georgia Tech. Got the clincher for Coach Goebel.
Here we go, Caleb. Arm me up. Go, Caleb. Here we go. Stay. So much.
So he holds serve to make it 4-2 now. Memphis hanging in there with Pau Fanlo. Memphis won the doubles point, and anybody's game in singles here early. First set. Back with more in a moment from Tulsa.
Have to catch an early train, gotta be to work by 9. And if I had an airplane, I still couldn't make it on time. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
awesome.
You earn an AutoZone reward.
Awesome.
Get more out of getting the job done.
Black
is to unfold.
Blackness in full and at home.
In the Anscape.
Coverage of the American Athletic Conference Men's and Women's Outdoor Track and Field Championships begins May 13th from Cessna Stadium on the campus of Wichita State University. Follow all the action exclusively on ESPN+. The American Athletic Conference Men's and Women's Outdoor Track and Field Championships from Wichita campus. All right, there's a look at where we are. Neff obviously has completed things in that first set for SMU, and then everything else is a crapshoot, but there are a couple of cutting. Obviously has a break, and another, obviously there at court number 5 there has been a break as well. There's on court 5 it's actually Fanlo and Steinhausen. They need to fix that, but at any rate right now Memphis has the doubles point, and we're in the midst of singles. Let's go to Brianna Sorensen, who has a report down on the court.
Yeah, I spoke to SMU coach Grant Chen, and I asked him, how is there such great chemistry on this team? And he said that after every single trip, they are required to room with a different roommate every single time. He said this really just gives them the opportunity to bond with every player and get to meet everybody. So he said some of their best memories that they have are actually just bonding at the hotel room. Back to you guys.
And that's a good idea. You know, have different roommates, get to know, obviously creates a lot of camaraderie and that sort of thing. We go to court 6 now. We go to 6 with Thama and Rock. Memphis with a 4-3 lead now.
Yeah, Rock is turning around.
Yeah.
He's done a nice job of saying, I'm not going to just lay back and wait for Thama to play on his terms. I'm going to push the envelope and actually put a little bit of pressure on him, and it's been paying dividends.
I was talking to a coach of a very successful soccer team about a team that had really good chemistry and camaraderie, and one of the things he said is, I tell my players, do not eat with the same person every day. Eat with somebody different on your team every single day, and I think that's kind of the same concept, isn't it?
No doubt, and when I coach teams, which I end up doing once or twice a summer, I take all of their phones away from them. Make a cell phone Jenga in the middle of the table and make them actually have to communicate with their adjacent person.
There you go. Really good idea. Head coach Grant Chen looking to get to the NCAAs for the first time for his program, or for him, if you will. As we look at court 5 right now.
Yeah, clearly he was part of a lot of amazing runs at UCLA.
Yeah.
And I think that, as we mentioned before, with him having such great All-American players on his team, that UCLA recently had a great team with All-Americans on it, and that made him feel that it was capable. He was capable, it was possible to be able to do that. And outstanding facility, one of the best in the country at SMU, and a great education, a popular brand. Great to see that he's been able to create that kind of opportunity and give that many kids the chance to play on a team.
Yep. Graduate from UCLA, and under Billy Martin, of course, a legendary coach out there for the Bruins. Steinhausen with a winner there, and really solidifies control at number 5 at 5-2. But just to add what Grant Chen, his legacy has been, you know, he wasn't a player. He came in as a manager under Coach Martin and just worked his way up.
No doubt. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday. He and both Jeff Navola, the women's coach, who unfortunately took a tough loss there yesterday, 2 days ago, points away. Neither of them actually play college tennis, and both now are coaching top 40 programs. Yeah. So it shows you that there's a different skill set that sometimes players don't always make the best coaches, and vice versa. It just sort of varies. You don't always see that, so it's a bit unique to have two from the same facility, but I've known Jeff for a long time. Clearly a big tennis family. I coached his brother, Dennis Navolo, who was #1 in the nation in juniors and All-American in Illinois. So it definitely is some pedigree in families, and if you want it bad enough and you're hungry and you learn, you definitely can be great at coaching.
And Jeff and Grant, they go back and forth and play against each other quite a bit. And Grant said that his backhand is weak, and Jeff's forehand gets a little bit erratic at times. Huh?
Yeah, we'll have to get that on tape.
Now we go to 6 with Rock and Thama.
Wow, see, Rock is doing better off the ground now. He's making fewer mistakes, but once he gets inside, he is volleying decisively and finishing. That was not an easy volley right there. He's fairly deep in the box, the bullseye, and he just crunches that volley right on the line.
And now leads 30-15. Coach Goebel again stressing that he wants Rock to be more aggressive and get to the net, and that's, I think, what's kind of helped turn this first set a little bit, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
That's so good.
Talking about tradition, obviously Coach Goebel of Memphis has created tradition, getting to 7 NCAA championships. Even though SMU was a little down when Grant Chent got to the Metroplex, SMU's been in 23 NCAA tournaments and got to the finals in 1983.
Yeah, obviously you have some old history.
Yeah.
Back in the Dennis Ralston type of days. And you have Carl Neufeld, who actually knows me from Chicago and recruited me when I was a Tyke, who was an assistant at SC and then obviously SMU for many years with a lot of great success. So there's been some wonderful precedents there, and it's great that Grant has now created that excitement and buzz at SMU.
Yeah, in 83 under Coach Ralston, they lost to Stanford 5-4 in the championship match. That's back when it used to be a 9-point situation, right?
I played the 9-pointer. I'm familiar.
And just to kind of clarify that, the 9-point system was every doubles match counted for a point. Is that right?
That's correct. 6 singles followed by 3 doubles, and everything counted.
Ralston passed away a few years back. The legendary coach at SMU was a Wimbledon finalist in 1966. He was a great player and then became a really good coach. But now to the present in Grant Chen's SMU team against Paul Goebel and Memphis. Memphis winning the doubles point here today. And Rock with an opportunity to get to 5-3 here on court 6.
Oh, yes.
That is wide, and so we go to deciding point.
And that's the type of point Thama wants to win. Keeping Rock back in boring cross-court rallies, not a lot of excitement, not a lot of moving around, just keeping him in the deeper part of the court without as many options to create or come forward.
Trying to stay on serve here in the first set at number 6 singles.
Right, that's great. Keep it up, Neff. Right hand, Neff. Right hand. Here we go, Julian. Here we go, Julian. That's right.
Just wide.
Come on, Liam. Here we go, Liam.
Still on serve.
That's a big, big game there. Outstanding effort. Down a couple break points.
So now tied at 4 at number 6 as they continue to battle in the first set. Almany against Kumar in court 4. Albany won the first set 6-2.
And Albany hasn't lost since October.
Yeah.
He has been beyond exceptional. So when the coaches were talking about this, they felt like for both teams this is a great point. Clearly PK has done an outstanding job for SMU, but undefeated this season clearly is formidable. So now
Kumar has the 2-0 lead in the second set as he has a break. That one looks to be long, 15-love in favor of Kumar.
And he's not going to go down without a fight.
Yeah.
Clearly, coming from A&M, the work that Coach Denton does there, great developmental coach. So he's been part of a wonderful system and now brings all of that experience and understanding into a key role being a grad student here and a leader for this team.
$30 Albany Malaya unbeaten, as you mentioned, at 17-0 in the duels. And Kumar, though, he's on a unbeaten streak of 7 right now. So something's got to give here.
That's correct.
Number 2 is coming down to the end of the first set. We might look at that one in just a bit, but
yeah,
we haven't had a good look yet.
He's just so strong inside the court. Once he establishes a quality strike, he hits a big, deep target. He creeps in a step, pops you another time. Creeps in a step, pops you another time until you're just done. The body blows he gives are almost Tyson-like.
Hard to believe he's just a freshman. Lots of energy. That is wide.
But look where he's standing.
Yeah.
So that's not the place to try to hit that geometry.
So Kumar with a chance to get to 3-0 here. Over at 2, SMU is 2 points away from winning that first set. So we may go in that direction, but a sitter, and Kumar able to put it away and win the game at 3-0 now. Crawl is a couple of points away from cinching the first set for SMU at 2. Then we will go to number 1 right now, and there's a good cross court by Neff. Neff won the first set 6-2. Stevenson ahead 2-1 on serve here in set number 2. Memphis won the doubles point. Neff now up 30-love in this one. What a serve. And they returned so hard it knocked the sign down. How hard do these guys hit? Pretty darn hard, huh?
Upper 90s.
Let's get a look at that again.
Yeah, that happens.
We will not send a bill to Memphis for the destruction of that sign. American, of course, does a great job of branding, but, you know, not much you can do about it when they destroy a sign.
I think we get the picture. We know we're at the American.
Yep. Well, the hooting and hollering means that SMU is 1 point away from capturing the first set, the number 2 position.
And, well, set point for 2 and 5,
yeah,
but we're
2
at
and
5.
So we're here at 5. SMU with Steinhausen, Set point. Big serve. Big point for Memphis and Fanlo.
It was a little bit too far away to go that angled for this volley. This was close, right on the line. He comes in because he's a little surprised about the line call, and then, yeah, he's going in the wrong direction, trying to hit the cutesy volley. If he had just played the volley in front of him, he probably would have been fine.
So instead of first set going to SMU, it's Fanlo saving that point or getting that point and getting a break, and now back on serve in set one at 5. Back to court one. Neff and Stevenson, and a mistake by Stevenson.
He has a little bit of a sort of a dangling wrist on his wind-up on the forehand. So at times he can have that errant shank because he's normally, that's, I'm going to get too technical on you, but normally the racket face is perpendicular to the ground when you're hitting a ground stroke. But if you start sort of cupping your wrist like that, at the last minute you have so much whip that it can give you some amazing spin and power, but it can also sometimes cause some mishits.
You hit the frame a little bit, huh, on the way up?
Sometimes.
That one goes wide. Stevenson now up 40-15. And again, this second set, number one singles is on serve. On court two, SMU and Memphis, it's just the scoreboard still has it 40-15 and 6-5, and it's been that way for about 2 or 3 minutes. Not sure if that has actually gone final on the first set. That was long.
I like that. He didn't overplay. He just said, hey, I'm going to hold my court position, and I'm going to move you a little bit, I'm going to move you a little more, and I'm going to move you a little bit more. Getting Stevenson again to go east-west instead of being able to come north-south is a great place for him as far as the SMU Mustangs are concerned. Oh, he's not going to miss that one.
No. Stevenson wins the point, wins the game. And over at 5, SMU 2 points away from a break and a first set win. Steinhausen and Fanlo. Now 40 love. So this is 3 set points for Julian Steinhausen. Young man who has an avid shoe collection. They say he's an avid shoe collector.
Oh, he was wearing a fancier hat yesterday.
And there is that part of that shoe collection right there.
Yeah, those
sneakerhead, huh?
Those are tight.
He's got the kicks, no question.
He most certainly does.
That's a really good play by Fanlo.
That's too good. Amazing, just across the board. All of these Memphis guys are rather competent volleyers.
You know, when I read that he's an avid shoe collector, I thought he had like maybe 50 wingtips or something in his closet. But when you say shoes, it also means athletic shoes.
Bruce, not too many people are rocking the wingtips. That's a blue moon situation now.
Back in the day, we used to call these sneakers, right?
Understood.
You know?
But, yeah, there's not a lot of wingtips going on. But definitely some of these snazzier Nikes are much more common at this point.
I'm not sure where you would wear those because you don't want to get them dirty, right? That is wide. And Steinhausen high-stepping with the new shoes into a first set victory. 6-4 for Steinhausen. And now this thing's starting to take shape. SMU has won on 2 and has taken that set 7-5 with Liam Krall. So starting to take shape now with SMU winning, 3 first sets so far.
And this is a deciding point.
On 3, yeah.
Just long, cutting, overplays a forehand. He's disappointed in himself. And we talked about yesterday how important the first game of the next set is. And if you can look across the board at number 1 singles after losing the first set, Memphis wins the first game and they're leading. At number 3 singles after losing the first set, they win the first game. And at 4 singles after losing the first set 6-2, Mr. PK is up 5-0.
Yeah. Over Almond.
Pranav Kumar is up 5-0.
On 4.
At number 4.
Yeah.
So it's just very important after a set is over to get off to a good start in the next one. And the other thing that's important in college tennis is that different than juniors and different than pros, you get a brand new can of balls at the end of the set. In juniors, you don't get a new can of balls until you split sets in the third. In the pros, you get ball changes at 7 and 9. In college, at the end of a set, they crack open a new can of balls, and that allows, I think, indoors an aggressive player to connect back to some of the great things that they may do well and have some cheap or free points going in their direction.
Absolutely. And now, as you kind of look at that scoreboard, Memphis has won 3 first sets. SMU has won 4.
Yeah, that's good athleticism to get over there and power that overhead down.
I'm sorry, Memphis has won 2 first sets, and SMU has won 3. As you take a look at Neff, along with Steinhausen and Krall winning first sets, and then for Memphis, Almany at court 4, not Meyer. Meyer is the Memphis women's player, but yeah, won that first set. But again, as you said, Kumar has roared back to go 5-0 in that court 4 matchup. And here we are on court 4. Kumar at 5-1 now. And leading, or trailing, 30 love.
Let's go, C. Come on, C.
I think he's doing a nice job this set of getting the balls on the left side of the court more, trying to stay away from Almany hitting forehands from the middle. So he's playing more to his backhand and having him like that move to his forehand, which is generating errors.
That's all right, David.
It's a good tactical adjustment by PK here. And I did get permission to be able to call him PK.
Let's go, Caleb. Let's go. Communication.
In hockey, that'd be penalty kill. But we're not watching hockey right now, and it's Pranav Kumar trying to win this second set.
That's correct. Yeah, there's a lot of overplayed forehands now that were not being overplayed in the first. He's looking at his strings like, what's going on? I think it's just you're down big 5-0, and you maybe are emotionally checked out of this set here, and you're probably going to be getting ready for a third soon.
Well, when you're down that big, do you just go for winners?
It's a great question. Me personally, I never believe in wasting points. I think that even if you're down big and you know that maybe a third set is imminent, you start working on the tactics that are going to help you win the match later. So you almost practice what's going to help you in the third set then. And maybe sometimes you can flip the script. But ultimately, the odds are against you 5-1 down. But I never am in favor of, in tennis terms, tanking a portion of a match.
Well, if you break serve here and it's 5-2, then you hold serve. All of a sudden you're putting pressure on the other guy. But right here, this is set point to send it to a third set at number 4.
Serve backhand, first ball roller. Now moving him to his forehand when he doesn't have the opportunity to get his feet set. So it's a great keep away from the forehand. So whoever whether he figured it out on his own or whether he was coached to do it, I got to say, been an outstanding adjustment
by Pranav. Yeah. And he wins the second set and has moved it to a third set, which may end up being very decisive. Who knows?
And here comes Caleb now after some rock and roll parts of the first set that went against him, and he fought back. Lost the set 6-4, but did a great job of being in an 0-3 hole, and now he's up 2-0 in the second and behaving like he's going to try to push this to extra innings. So the scoreboards that went from Memphis's way in the first set at 3 and 4 are now SMU's scoreboards in the second.
And we look at number one, where right now Stevenson has a 4-3 lead, and he's trying to get into a third set with Adam Neff. Keep an eye on that one as well. But right here at number 3, Chakravarthy doing a nice job of getting himself back in, and a chance here for him to solidify the break and get to 3-0.
And the over-under on the time of this match, Bruce, was 2 hours and 55 minutes. Just so you know. So we're currently now at 1 hour and 55. So that means we'd have to have another hour of battling. And with the way the scoreboard is lined up, it's possible.
And with two great teams, it's not uncommon, is it, for this thing to go down to a whole bunch of third setters, huh?
The margins are quite slim in college tennis. I don't think people realize, even when some of the top 10 teams win 4-3s against teams in their conferences, you know, the Floridas, the TCUs, the Ohio State, some of these matches are incredibly close that you don't get a chance to watch because we don't have as many opportunities like we have today with a great, television coverage opportunity on ESPN+.
It's a double fault. 30-15 for Chakravarthy. He wants to go pro after his career is over, as he is a senior.
Yes. Great job, man. Go at him. Here we go, now. Come upstairs. Great serve, man.
A little pressure here on second serve after a double, huh?
Absolutely. That's a great second. And Cutting's overplaying, just missing balls unnecessarily. It's even if you're down 40-15 there, you got to scratch and claw to try to get yourself back to on serve.
And it looks like that has gone final. That was point and game for SMU. As again, Chakravarthy hanging in there, looking to get to a third set. Memphis leads 1-0 with the doubles point. Back with more in a moment.
Have to catch an early train, gotta be to work by 9. And if I had an airplane, I still couldn't make it on time. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Stuff. We love stuff, and there's some really great stuff out there. But I doubt that any of us will look back on our lives and think, I wish I bought an even thinner TV, found a lighter light beer, or had an even smarter smartphone. Do you think any of us will look back in our lives and regret the things we didn't buy? Or the places we didn't go?
The American Athletic Conference Women's Rowing Championship. Tune in for that coming up on May 15th from the Melton Lake in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Follow all the action exclusively on ESPN+. The American Athletic Conference Women's Rowing Championship from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Right now, Memphis won the doubles point. And we move to court number 1 now. Neff and Stevenson. Neff won the first set. That is wide. And in the second set, it is 4-4. This one on serve in the second set. 4-4. Stevenson serving here. One of the things Coach Goebel talked about, David Stevenson, he's a great leader. He's also a really good golfer. He and Cutting go out and hit it on the links quite a bit for Memphis. That one's a little bit long, but here's the key for Coach Goebel. When Stevenson and Cutting's golf game is getting really good, he's concerned that their tennis game is maybe not as good. So when he hears about good scores, he's worried about whether Stevenson and Cutting maybe are spending too much time on the course and not enough time on the court. But I don't think he has to worry too much. These two gentlemen, Stevenson and Cutting, are really, really good for Memphis. An easy sitter for Stevenson. He now leads 40-30 here in set number 2. In the earlier meeting, Neff defeated Stevenson, but it was really close. 7-6, 7-5 in that number 1 meeting back on April 4th.
Yeah, these are big moments here. Every single serve and decision counts. Let's see what Stevenson comes up with here. Oh, wow. So it was a big serve and a great return, and Neff got what he wanted. He wanted time and opportunity and got a chance to come forward. Wasn't able to do enough with the approach shot. The volley sat, and Stevenson delivers the goods, gets the pass down. Whew, that could have been...
Yeah, that one hit the tape, didn't it?
That's a big moment for him. And all these teams just are knotted up and so close. And just to give you an idea, with the projected rankings, going into this tournament, SMU was 26. As of right now, they're 21 in the nation on the projected. Memphis started this tournament 36, projected right now as we speak 35. USF 41 last week, 41 projected now.
So they're right on the cut line, aren't they?
Tulsa 37 going in and now dropped to 44 and at the cut line after yesterday's loss. And UCF coming in at 44 and now down at 50, and without their record being 500, their season's over.
So the best chances, obviously, for the American would be, obviously, SMU and Memphis, and then Tulsa, USF.
USF is probably safe at 41. And I'll have to see what happens at the end of all the conference tournaments. But Tulsa's the one that's on the bubble at this point.
Right now on court 3. I'm sorry, this is court 6 with Thama and Rock. And they are on a tiebreak, in a tiebreak situation here, with Thama leading 1-0. We had followed that for a while. Thama got an early break. Rock got it back, and now we're at 6-6. All the other first sets have been decided. This one is lagging behind a little bit. It may end up being...
Not a surprise that number 6 gets that way.
Right.
And Thama obviously is the type of guy who's looking to slow things down and try to make it long for Rock. I guess our graphic, we need to start a tiebreaker number there.
Right. Instead of 15 love, it should be 2-0 in favor of SMU.
Tiebreaker.
Yep. Again, this will decide the first set. Everybody else is in the second set. In fact, number 4 is already at the third set as Rock wins the point to make it 2-1. Rock to serve at 2-1.
Great serve +1. Love the feet. Outstanding adjustment steps he took to make sure he took care of that.
So now at 2-2.
Lots of adjustment steps, and his weight's going forward after he contacts it.
Good look at Harry Rock from Rudgswick, the UK. 8-5 in duels this year. Got size at 6'3", great potential according to coach.
They have some strong recruits from England, and without the biggest of budgets, coach has to go over there and do some creative things to be able to have relationships and sign some of these players. Yeah, that's really good tennis there. That's great passing shot, and that's an even better half volley reply. That's just good tennis all around.
That's good hands, isn't it?
Outstanding stuff. Big cross court, lots of adjustment steps. Locates that inside out and finds another one. See, this is where tennis is different, right? People used to hit backhands on those back in the day, but now all these different forehand dominant positions, and to have the ability to finish, to go power, 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 and then add some finesse.
In the old days, they used to call that running around the forehand, right? Do they still call it that?
Yeah, it's still the same.
Rock leading 3-2. Now 3-3. And to your point about the international players going over to Europe for Coach Goebel, how hard was that during COVID? I mean, virtually impossible.
But he still did a nice job of making sure that he's seeing the players that he's picking. I think that there's been, a fair amount of players back in the day when I think there was a big influx of international, but some of them were being signed on videos and sight unseen and not really watching them play. So,
right.
Every school has, varying degrees of budget size to be able to do things like that.
Now we go to 4. Almany and Kumar. It's been a heck of a matchup. 6-2 for Almany and 6-1 for Kumar, and 1-1 here in the decisive third set.
Oh, my goodness.
Somehow hit the line and somehow stayed in. Wow, what a point, huh?
Oh, my goodness. What? And here he comes. And it's in. Oh, wow.
A little question there. Was it in? Hard to tell. I'm trying to look at
great athleticism to make that shot.
One of the best points that we've seen
coming
today.
Back from the tarp. Good positional volley and great hands.
Now we go back to 6 with the tiebreaker. 4-3 Thama. And that is long. A little bit of an advantage now for Ivan Thama at 5-3.
Gritty down there. And this is a big, in terms of the entire schematic of this match, for Memphis only trying to get 3 matches and already having 2 first sets, a third first set really helps their cause.
to serve. It's down 5-3.
And he brings the heat.
Now a couple of serves coming for Ncaa. 5-4. And again, this is first set not over, while number 4 is already in the third set. But as you mentioned, just the style of play, and number 6 oftentimes lags, huh?
Yeah, at 6, sometimes you get some grinders. And he goes heat T and makes it. Oh, wow. And he's giving the love to the 7th man upstairs.
Mm-hmm. So this will be 2 set points for Ncaa.
Yeah, that's a great serve.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that he hit it as hard as possible, right? It's just well placed. And I think that to some extent helps you when you play dubs, because in doubles you're serving for spots, and then that helps that mentality in singles. But that's a great double spot that he just hit with that first serve. And here he comes.
And he
well
wins
played.
the point.
That's a great combo. Ace followed by a transition and a finish. What a way to finish a set.
Look at Grant Chen, the head coach. He is fired up. And a 7-6 first set victory for Ncaa.
Great technique on the backhand approach with his weight transfer. And he plays a good positional first volley down the line, which is old school. That is Stefan Edberg, rafter old school. Play at line and hold line position. In this day and age and Luxalon era and everyone ripping winners with forehands, it's great to see such great net play across all of these teams today.
Yeah, I love pulling out the Stefan Edberg card. I like that. Great player, wasn't he?
Well, we're indoors with a lot of volleying today, so we need to give a tribute to I guess Johnny Mack wouldn't be happy that we picked Edberg, so we may have to.
To Johnny Mack, too.
Yeah, we may have
to the American players, right?
Yeah, give respect to Johnny Mack. And
by the way, Johnny McEnroe, when they actually opened this facility in 2001, Johnny McEnroe was the keynote speaker here.
Well, that's awesome.
Brought him in as this wonderful facility was opened up. And we go to 3 with Cutting and Chakravarthy. And it is 3-3, second set. Cutting won the first set, 6-4. Good pass there by Cutting. Love 15. And you see Coach Chen has already migrated from court 6 to the other side of the building and now is between 3 and 1. And over at 1, they have gone to tiebreaker at 6-6. So some huge moments here. And there you see 1. 1-0 in favor of Neff. Stevenson trying to stay alive. Neff won the first set 6-2.
And he just missed a first. He just missed a first volley by 2 inches. And then he questioned, but the referee agreed. Experienced referee pardon there.
Adam Neff won against Temple, 1 against USF.
It's tough. He's trying to take the second serve and then come forward right away when Neff misses his first serve so that he can get in. It's an interesting strategy, but there he dumped it. He didn't catch the sweet spot on his racket.
Great first serve there.
And that's the heat. That's the way to keep him back. Making the first serve and keeping him back. So that little 2-inch volley mistake followed by a couple great serves is now putting Neff in a wonderful position to try to give SMU a 1-all scoreboard. And that's always what you need once you lose a doubles point. You need somebody to deliver and try to get get that point back.
Mm-hmm. Big break for Stevenson. 3-1.
Yeah, that's outstanding because 4-0, and I think the fat lady's bringing out Banaka.
Yeah.
So I think that's a match-saving let court.
If he wins this point on serve, then he's only one mini break behind.
I didn't know they sell rabbit's feet over there in England. Well, that is helpful now. A let court and a big serve out wide. That scoreboard is much better at 2-3.
Yes.
Than it could have been at 0-4 or 1-5. Oh, excuse me, 0-5 or 1-4.
So Neff now with 2 serves. And again, Neff won the first set. Can close this out if he can close out Stevenson here in this tiebreaker.
Oh my gosh, the concentration on that little dipsy-do chip. It was just short enough, just wide enough. Oh my goodness, this is close. Because you got options here, and as the court is open and Stevenson's there, and oh, he wishes he wouldn't have overplayed that field shot. Especially being an athlete and a great volleyer, he has the skill set to be able to feel a chip up the line and make that.
Now you have a brief break at the 6-point mark in a tiebreaker. Is there anything you can do if you're struggling a little bit to try to get it back together? It's pretty much just a water break, right?
It's barely. Technically, it's not supposed to be a break at all, but I think that most referees and people recognize if you just keep it moving, they'll allow a short sip on the way. But I think that because there's been constant coaching in college tennis, I don't think that there's much to be said here. I think that these guys are just have to execute.
But it's basically the switching of sides at the 6-point mark, right?
It is, and clearly if we were outside, that would be a switching of wind condition.
Yes.
Which makes it fair. So that's
the
tough.
big serve again, huh?
That's tough because Stevenson is overplaying there, doesn't need to. He just needs to get into the point right now. He's on a negative scoreboard, so any donations just give Neff that much closer.
Now he leads 5-2. 2 points away from closing out number 1 singles. Stevenson needs a couple of big serves here. And he gets the point, 5-3.
Yeah, that's where he wants to be. He wants to be inside the box with Neff out there in center field somewhere trying to make a pass. So on paper, you look at that and think, okay, that's not that great of an approach shot, but it's low and short. And you see some of the 7th men out there.
Well, and that one has been disputed. On the scoreboard, it is 5-4. So they have given the point, I believe, to Memphis, or is that wrong? There seemed to be quite a bit of discussion there. So 5-4 it is. That's huge, isn't it? 6-3, 5-4 is a big difference, huh? That is out.
Yeah, that wasn't the time to take the risk. And that's tricky when you first couple shots are a little measured and tight, and then all of a sudden you try to just catch one perfectly. I wanted that backhand to be cross-court again from Neff. I don't think that was the time. Like here, he's just kind of a measured, guided ball. And then this has got to go back cross-court. That's not, even though there's space, wasn't the ball to do it.
And Neff just hit it into the net. So that's 4 straight points for Stevenson. And he's ahead 6-5, and he has a set point now.
Yeah, this is a dramatic development at number 1 singles.
It was 5-2, Neff.
This is really, really big.
Stevenson to try to send it to a third set.
Yeah, this pendulum is swinging everywhere, and it's been a big 3 minutes for Memphis.
On the line and finishes it off. Second set to Stevenson, and now it's Memphis's turn to make some noise.
Yeah, and he's giving it to the SMU guys there who he feels been in his ear, and that's a big pressure response. He says you got to do something about that. He's apparently he doesn't like the
chirping,
the amount of communication, or maybe the rate of it, or what's being said.
We go to court 5, Fanlo and Steinhausen. And right now, Steinhausen has this one by the neck at 6-4 and 4-2 and up 15 love. These two played each other earlier on April 4th, split the first 2 sets, and then did not finish.
Well, I think that you've got a guarantee now for this match to go 3 hours plus. This one's gone well over 3 hours today.
So your 255 over-under, I think, is going to go down the over, huh?
I was going to take the over initially. I didn't, but I most certainly agree that it's going to be over now.
On court 5, you see the numbers. 15 all now as Memphis just won that point. Championship will be decided here today. A champion will be crowned. Whichever team wins their first ever American championship.
And
both teams headed to the NCAA.
And to think that the Memphis women won, and for a Memphis sweep.
Yeah.
Sweep? You've heard UCF sweeping this, but you have not heard about a Memphis sweep ever.
And I may be speaking out of turn, but I believe Memphis still uses a public facility. Is that correct? I don't think they have their own huge facility, but they're in the process.
Yeah, they're in the process of building an outstanding one that they'll have, and I think within maybe 2 years.
Second serve for Steinhausen here.
And Steinhausen is next door to that number 1 singles match, so he knows what just happened there.
Yeah.
He knows that it's important for him to step up and put the nail in the coffin here so he can help his team. He was in position to maybe be a second point for SMU, and now he actually needs to step up and become the first.
Still officially 1-0. We have 3 of these singles matches into the third set now.
But on the fantasy football projection meter, it is 54-46 Memphis now. It would have been an SMU favored scoreboard if they had won and closed out at number 1. Because they only need 3.
Yeah.
And they're already up 4-2 at number 4 singles.
That is the decisive third set at number 4 with Almany, who, as we mentioned before, is unbeaten, and he is leading 4-2.
They're 2 games away from being 3-0 lead.
So this is big for Steinhausen to get things done, and he does.
Yeah, the first serves are really a positive thing.
So SMU wins there, and he has a hammerlock on that match, leading 6-4, 5-2. Now we go to 4. We just mentioned Memphis ahead 4-2 in the decisive third set. And a shot long by Pranav Kumar.
And it's tough. This is Mr. Undefeated.
Yeah.
Almany. We need to put his new middle name in.
Almany Malaya for Memphis. And he is on serve here. It is serving with a 4-2 lead. Kumar won that first point, though. Oh, now we're going to correct the score. It is at 30-30. Well, we'll correct it again. 30-15 in favor of Almany.
That's a good serve. Smart kicker. If he's playing deep in the court like he is, pretty far behind the baseline, an off-speed kicker wider is a great choice.
So now he is 1 point away from being up 5-2 in the third set. Almany, a very smart young man from Valencia, Spain. 4.0 GPA in his first year as a freshman. That's long.
Yeah, I love to hear that. You know, focus on that as much. Academic All-Americans are just as important. The students that have gone on and put all this effort in and travel all around the country.
Oh, yeah.
And they're able to keep their grades up at the same time. A lot of respect for that.
Absolutely. And Almany wins and goes to 5-2. And now we go back to 5 with Fanlo and Steinhausen. That one is wide from Steinhausen. .30 love for Fanlo. Again, trying to hang in there and keep this particular matchup alive. I think you're right, Mark. Very important here for Steinhausen to put a little scoreboard pressure on Memphis, right? If they can finish this thing out. That's a really good shot. That very important first game on #1 singles went to
great technique
Neff.
On the backhand return there. Great open stance backhand return.
Fanlo up 40-15 now. And again, just trying to stay alive. Court 2 will be going to that in just a minute. Taylor won the second set. 6-2 over Krall, who had won the first set. So 3 of them into third set action now. And that is game for Fanlo, making it 5-3.
Yeah, not a good time to go off the line on that one. He needs to just stay in the point.
All right, let's go to 2 now. And this is Liam Krall and Jeremy Taylor. Krall won the first set 7-5. Taylor bounced back and won the second set 6-2. And SMU won the first game. Krall won the first game in set number 2. As Mark mentions, that first game of the next set always seems to be a major part. Krall goes up 2-0 in the third set on number 2 singles. So Liam Kroll able to get it done. In the earlier meeting between these two, Kroll actually played Cutting, who is playing at 3 today for Memphis, and that was a did not finish matchup. Liam Kroll has really developed his game very well. Jeremy Taylor, young man from Australia. You talk about COVID. He hasn't had hardly a chance at all to go back home since he came to America because Australia really locked down for quite some time.
Yeah, it's been really tough there.
That one is wide.
Yeah, it's tough. You have to be careful about every single direction change decision. Can't just be careless about that.
Taylor is now up 30 love, trying to break back after Kroll has a break here in the third set. Really terrific net play there.
Well, it's a nice compliment for him with the big ground strokes from the back to make sure that he does come forward a portion, so he's not putting all of that pressure solely on having to hit the winners and having the forced errors from the back. Indoor tennis for sure, some net appearances to complement his power is a really smart balance for his game.
At number 3, SMU's Chakravarthy is a set point to try to send it to a third set. And there you see court 4.
Albany gets the job done.
So Pablo Albany stays unbeaten at 18-0 as he defeats Kumar 6-2, 2-6, 6-1.
Big serve down the tee, and that is the first point for SMU.
Yep.
6-4, 6-3.
Happening in a hurry. Steinhausen wins. So here we see it again.
Big serve. He's been doing a much better job with his first serve percentage here than in the doubles match. They struggled in the doubles match, but he brought it together in the singles, helped his team out, and now he can put his headband on or his hat backwards and get into that 7th man roll and start cheering and get his teammates over the hump.
Yep. Now we go back to 2, Taylor and Kroll.
Break point, Memphis. And that's a heater, and that's a, oh, wow. Yeah, that, challenge systems. That's a great second serve. The second serve quality I've been impressed with today, looking across a lot of the different players. New balls or not, just the depth in the box, the power, how low. I've been impressed.
Big point on 3. Chakravarthy has just won the second set, I believe. Let's go back to 3 now and get that decisive point. What a point, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't it just was an early part of their game, but it's momentum-wise, after you won an emotional second set like that, looking to try to do the best you can.
So number 3 goes to the third set. The only straight set matchup was at number 5 when Steinhausen won 6-4, 6-3, and now we go to number 6, Thama and Harry Rock.
Yeah, so that at number 2, which we were watching before, that was a break back. So Taylor got the break back.
Right. And now here at 6. Ncaa won the tiebreaker 7-6 and leads 3-1 here in the second set. So a chance for a straight sets win here for SMU.
Yeah, it would be big if they could win both of them down low and straights with all of the 3 setters that are going on up top.
At this point, Memphis leads 2-1. They win the doubles point. Almani defeated Kumar in the number 4 singles. Steinhausen for SMU has defeated Fanlo at number 5. Everything else still in the balance. Numbers 1 through 4 are all in the third set. 1 through 4 all went to the third set. 4 is final now, as we mentioned with Almani. But here at number 6, Ncaa serving to Rock, leading 3-1. .30-15 now.
Yeah, tells the story. This is super tight. Right now, I would put this scoreboard at completely even.
Yeah.
Completely even.
And you're looking at number 1 and number 2, both in third sets. Looks like they're on serve.
Memphis only needs 2.
This is Rock and Ncaa still.
Oh my goodness. It's actually not that easy. It looks like that's a bad miss. I'm not sure that he should have tried to go for an overhead because the impact point was so low. But he most certainly should have come forward. I mean, that's a great forehand here that sets up the opportunity. Yeah, right here, he goes line. Big one, sneaking in. And now this right here should probably been a volley. He tries to go overhead and overcuts it from a low impact point.
Ncaa up 40-15, serving to go to 4-1 now.
Yeah, that's big moments here. That score separation just gives breathing room for momentum shifts.
Well, in the missed volley, if you will, it'd be 30-30 right now, and Rock would be sitting there fighting to try to get back. Ncaa wins the point, and wins the game, and now up 4-1 at 6. Now back to 2 with Krall and Taylor.
And I just think if he would come in a little bit more. I think if he come in a little bit more, he'd make life easier for himself. I think him trying to rip the winners from the back plays into Taylor's hands, so Taylor can keep trying to milk the unforced errors. I think Krall, with some more net appearances to complement the aggression, would be able to get over the hump. But if he's going to stay back and try to lace the winners in the corner, then it's going to continue to be a roller coaster ride to the end.
And it's 40-30, Krall with the lead. This is a break opportunity against Taylor.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That was a great time for it. So Taylor gives him a target and dares him, and he delivers and threads the needle. Great movement on this backhand. He gets behind the ball, and then he really steers that well. He had great upper body balance. His feet weren't even there, but his head and his upper body were as still as it needed to be, so he could measure that. That's a big time for a defensive play from him, which isn't that common and prevalent in this match. He's been more of the dictator of this match.
And so he leads 3-1 now here in the third set, and we go to court 3. Chakravarthy looked like he was in control, but Cutting had a better shot there, huh?
He's outside the doubles alley, so it's a tricky angle for him to try to go inside in. This should have probably gone unfortunately, inside out, and then he gotten back over and covered. It's just hard. That shot's coming from outside back into Cutting, so Cutting doesn't have to move very far to make that play.
It's the first game of the third set, and as you always talk about, so important, isn't it? Chakravarthy on serve. First game and up 30-15.
Yeah, it's well played. Good disguise. Didn't overplay it.
And so he ends up winning the point. We were a little behind on the score on that one, so that was a 40-30 point. And he wins the point and the game, 1-0. Third set for Chakravarthy and Cutting. Now we go to court one. Awfully hard to keep track of all of this, huh? On court one, third set, 30-30 between Neff and Stevenson. And Neff leads 3-2. Stevenson on serve. So this is third set, still on serve. And a big 30-30 point right here.
Oh my gosh. An amazing return and then an underplayed underplayed approach shot. Oh, wow. Great pass. Good concentration by Stevenson there. Because here he comes. He's got an opportunity, but that's just a meat forehand with time. So he gives him an uncomfortable backhand volley. Your job as an approacher is to make the passer uncomfortable, putting yourself in a good position inside the service box to have a volley with time. Just not enough on the approach shot. But again, with the pressure in the moment, I understand why he just made it to try to transfer. Just a great veteran play by Stevenson with a little bit of extra time to pick on that backhand volley.
Memphis leads 2-1 in this championship, but some decisive points upcoming. And he holds serve.
Yeah, Stevenson's got 9 lives, and I think he's used 6 of them. I think he's got 3 left. He has had some tough situations that he has Houdini'd out of, including being 2 points away from losing this one in the breaker.
3-3, third set.
But he had a great look. Neff had a great look to break there, and it was nullified. And I just think that the confidence that Stevenson gets by answering the bell over and over and over again is just pushing his chest further and further out here.
And Krall just went to 4-1 on court 2 in the third set.
And that's why it's a great team game, this college tennis. It's a great team game because here you've got momentum swings and pendulum swings, and right now Neff has no idea that Krall is over there on the other side unless he's been peeking up at the scoreboard.
Looks like this whole thing will be decided at 1 and 3, huh? If Krall hangs on to where he is.
That's true. And we're getting close to our over-under. Of 255, we're getting close. We're at 243 mark. It's just the strength and the athleticism of Stevenson. He's deep in the court. He's still moving well. Neff, by playing all these tough positions and playing these tournaments 3 days in a row, seldom do these guys at the high level at number 1 position play 3 consecutive days in a row against the best competition.
Right.
And the fitness becomes a big issue here on a 3rd day in a row.
It is 30-15, Neff with the lead, and now he has just served an ace to make it 40-15
and
to stay on serve.
Potentially the serving could be the difference for him. Because the longer the points are going right now, you normally would favor Neff from a baseline standpoint, but these points are not really going baseline long.
Right.
The longer it goes, Stevenson's finding his way to the net.
that is a game for Neff.
I like that. I think that there he was able to establish some depth with the backhand and then take his forehand and just make Stevenson move east-west and not allow him to come forward. So that's a good handling of that 1-2 combo.
Now we go back to 2, where Krall has the 4-1 advantage in the third set. And a winner down the line. And Krall is ahead 30-15.
He has the firepower to get this done. He has to just be composed and make good choices when he's going to deliver the home run hit. He's got to hit some singles, get some men on base, and then knock them in, not just try to go homers with every ball.
Krall a couple of points away from really taking a firm grip on this third set. He already has a break. And that one is long. So Taylor fights back in it at 30-30.
But that's an example, Bruce, of him overplaying one of those shots. That's an inside in, going for a home run, going to try to make a statement. But right now, his team just needs him to get the job done. They need the point. He doesn't need to get 17 winners versus 15. That's why tennis is such a mental game.
You're always playing the other guy, but you're also playing yourself, aren't you?
No doubt. And so there's 2 return errors on serves that are not fast. Those serves are maybe 91 miles an hour. He has plenty of time and opportunity there. Maybe even less. Maybe that serve is 85 miles an hour. So he's got to settle in here.
40-30, Taylor.
And that's the type of point Taylor wants. A nice, long, gritty one where Krall feels that he needs to overplay. That's a big hold there because 5-1 versus 4-2.
Yep. 5-1, it's almost over.
That's correct.
4-2, he's still down just 1 break. And now we go to 6, Rock and Ncaa. Rock serving.
That's big time. That's coming hot.
And again, this is only the second set. Ncaa looking to wrap it up here with 1 more win and give SMU a 2-2 tie in this championship. Right now, Memphis winning the doubles point and Albany winning in singles at 4. Leading 2-1. Steinhausen winning for SMU at 5.
Very good serve.
Now 40 love for Rock. You can hear the hooting and hollering. I think that came from court 2. Sometimes you can't tell.
Wow, that was a big boy game.
So he wins that game at love to make it 5-3. And again, Rock is 1 service break down. All right, let's go to 3 now. This is third set between Chakravarthy and Cutting. Obviously, in a moment at 6, Ncaa will be serving for the match. Really good serve by Caleb. He leads 40-30 in a 1-1 third set. Now let's go back to 6. And here's Ncaa, as you see that 7th man that Mark has talked about.
Here he comes with an approach shot. Oh, wow. Great first volley down the line. The net play I've really been impressed with. A lot of transition, confident transition in meaningful moments.
So there you see Thama is up 30 love. 2 more points and he has closed out Harry Rock. It would tie the match at 2.
Yeah, it's just big power coming from Rock. It is, you can't tell on the monitor how fast that's going, but with those balls, on the ATP Tour, you see a lot of 85 to 100 mile an hour ground strokes now, and they actually have the speed guns on those. These are comparable.
Rock has made it 30-15. That score there at 40 love is wrong. It is 30-15 for Thama. There you go.
What an amazing point.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That point had everything. Offense, defense, transition. Wow.
This will be triple match point for Thama. Talk about great play, great athleticism for these two guys, huh?
Yeah, that was just an unbelievable stretch get there by Thama. Amazing.
Now Thama serving for the match at 5-3, 40-15.
That's too good.
Rock stays alive.
Yeah, that's just a high level. If the chip floats, then you have time to run around and get your feet set. And if you're set and you have time, then inside in is okay. That was below net level, so you might argue, well, it's a little bit challenging, but now when he's really moving that well to get set for it.
Well, in the third set, you have SMU 5-4 at 1, 5-2 at 2, on the cusp of winning those two matches. And right here, of course, another match point for Thama.
Let's go, David. Come on, mate. Oh, yes, Oscar.
And that is number 2.
So Thama wins 7-6, 6-3, and we're tied at 2. How about that, huh? What a great effort by Ivan Thama.
Yeah, he did a wonderful job mixing it up, playing defense, neutralizing the power, coming forward and applying pressure.
So now we're tied at 2. Now over at court 1, SMU leading 5-4. And there you see on court 2 right now, that's Kroll and Taylor. And Taylor has the 5-2 deficit. Now we are at number 1.
Now we are tied at 2-all in this duel match, folks. And now the pendulum swings and the scoreboard is 62-39 SMU.
Stevenson.
What an athletic get. The power, the speed, the composure to be able to find that and catch Neff in a technically no man's land position where he got caught with hitting a backhand off his shoelaces.
Well, this is third set. They're still on serve here at number 1. With SMU leading 5-4, but Stevenson looking to hold serve 15-15. Two in the match now. SMU has won 2 of the first 3 that have been decided here in singles. That goes out.
Oh my goodness, he goes for the chip back behind. I think he'd like to have that back. This is enormous. And now you have 1 and 2 at a race to a potential ending.
$15-30. Oh, wonderful.
Oh, that is pro level. That is pro level right there. An amazing open stance return early. Read that he was going to try to serve volley and hit exactly the right speed to the exact perfect spot. Triple match point for Neff in a tight set that's been 9 straight holds and nothing but airtight. Epitome of pressure performance here.
3 match points for Adam Neff. First serve was long.
And now there's match point over at number 2 as well.
That is long, so he saves 1. And you say we have match point at number 2 as well. And here is court 2 with Kroll trying to wrap things up. If both these go SMU's way, they've won it. But that deciding point goes to Memphis. So back to 1. $30-40. And that is a winner.
That's unbelievable.
For Neff. So SMU takes a 3-2 lead. And now here we go back to 2, where Kroll is...
He had match point but lost it.
Right, is looking to wrap things up.
Which would have been championship point, but he didn't know it.
Boy, moments ago, it was 2-1 Memphis, but then almost in straight order, Ncaa and Neff win for SMU. And here is Kroll with the championship on his racket. Kroll leading 5-3 in the third set and down 15-love.
And a 15-love second serve, which has been a very common recipe to get broken.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good inside-out aggressive target. I like that play. If you're going to be aggressive, then big targets right now, simple choices from closer to the baseline or inside. If you're deeper in the court, no risk. Just play smart to the big targets. If you're Taylor, get the return back, extend the points. That's clean hitting. That is good technique. His posture is there. The impact point is there. And he's hit 2 big cross-court aggressive shots with great balance and good technique. That's the way to close.
2 points away from an SMU championship, but Kroll has to finish it out here on court 2.
And a free point on the serve. And now...
championship point.
At the 3-hour mark. We're over 2:55, Bruce.
Yeah. 3 championship points for Liam Kroll against Jeremy Taylor. Hard-fought match here. Right now it's 3-2 SMU. And there it is. SMU has won their first American Athletic Conference championship. Liam Kroll winning in the third set, 6-3 to wrap it up for the Mustangs. How about that? They've won 9 conference titles in their history, but this is their first one in the American Athletic Conference.
And What an amazing effort. 100% American squad, deep with all of these guys, loving each other, spending the time, caring. Grant Chen comes over here from all of that experience at UCLA and is starting to build a legacy of his own here. He should be really, really proud. Amazing effort. After losing the doubles point, he battles hard with everybody at all the positions and the seventh man up in the rafters. Everybody, total team effort to get the job done.
He knew he was going to go to his first NCAA championship, Grant Chen with SMU, but now he goes into that NCAA as American Athletic Conference champions. What an emotional moment for these guys.
And right now in the projected rankings, 21 in the country. What an amazing mixture of all of these guys. And you could see the disappointment because Stevenson knows if he gets it done in his position, then he can let it come back to Cutting to be the hero again, which was at 3-2 in the third and an opportunity there.
Well, you see those reactions by Memphis, obviously disappointed, but they will play again, obviously, in the NCAA.
An amazing job by Coach Goebel. They're an outstanding team, well coached, very, very good with the type of technique and style that they needed to play, but most certainly they're disappointed. They know that they had opportunities here, and almost with the girls winning the title, there could have been an opportunity for them to do that.
And so now we also wait for the selection process with SMU and Memphis. SMU in for sure, Memphis almost assuredly in. And then you look at Tulsa and USF as possibilities on the cut line, if you will, and we'll see what happens once they are announced. But you certainly hope that the American can get in 4 this year. They had 5 last year, Mark.
It's a great conference. I've been following this one and coming in and doing some commentating since 2015, and I've been nothing but impressed with.
All right, let's go down to Brianna Sorensen, who has Grant Chen, the head coach for SMU.
Coach, you just made history. Your first American Athletic Conference championship. How deserving is this team of that title?
Well, you know, I think sometimes words and videos are better than you can possibly imagine. And this group right here, these 17 guys, our support staff, 4 years of hard work has gotten us here. So proud of the guys and the entire program and, you know, SMU, and proud to take this trophy back to Dallas.
Both teams extremely talented, but why is this the team right here to take you now to the NCAA tournament?
You know, we've believed in the process, everyone since day one, and everyone I think has believed in and trusted in what we've been doing throughout this entire school year. And you know, it's just starting. It's just starting. So we'll continue this whole ride, and you know, it's going to be a good couple days, and we'll regroup and look forward to the NCAAs.
Thank you so much, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you, Brianna. We'll see you soon.
Back to you guys.
And there you see the Gatorade bath for Grant Chen, the fourth-year head coach at SMU. You think those guys like their coach or not?
Yeah, they love their coach. It's a great brotherhood. It's my first time really getting a chance to spend a few days with this group, and I hung out with the seventh man in the crowd and talked to them a bit, and they shared a bunch of stories. And the college experience is supposed to be the best time, you know, one of the best times of your life as an athlete, and getting a chance to be together, travel, and all is outstanding. And you can just see the camaraderie with these guys with all the hugs and emotion.
No doubt. Let's go back down to Brianna Sorensen, down in the celebratory area for SMU.
You just won the American Athletic Conference Championship. How rewarding is it to know that all of your hard work has paid off?
It is unbelievable. And as you can hear, the guys are cheering. I have so much to thank for them being on my team and just so much support they've given me. It's such a pleasure to be here. Such an honor. So excited. Can't even put it into words.
Speaking of your teammates, I mean, what was going through your head when you realized you had just won this match for the Mustangs and all your teammates went and stormed the court and tackled you?
I was just kind of like, oh my God, we just did it. Because all the matches went out so quick. Like Ivan won, then Adam was up a break. I was like, oh my gosh. And then that last game, I was like, this has to be it, you know.
You're going to the NCAA tournament now. How exciting is it to know that this season isn't over for you guys?
It's super exciting, and I think it's a testament to the hard work Grant's put in this year, and I think we can make a good run, you know?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and
Awesome.
congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you guys.
All right, Brianna, thank you very much. Liam Krall, what a year he has had. You think about a kid that's a sophomore from Bronxville, New York, 25-7. And you don't get sophomores and freshmen that jump up to number 2 and number 1 very often. You got to be pretty talented, and they've got some really good young players, don't they?
And his fundamental base come from playing up in the East Coast, in the East. So that was an indoor upbringing he had. And so today, he is in the most comfortable position he could be under pressure, letting those big bombs fly, and it's just too much for Taylor on his bottom line. We looked at the schematic of this, and we thought doubles was a toss-up, and it went to Memphis. We thought Memphis was slightly favored, and obviously that one is stolen by SMU. We thought 2 and 6 were SMU's, and they were. And number 4 was Memphis's, and Mr. Undefeated still won, and I think number 5 was a swing point. So they were able to get 1 and 5, which were swing points in this match. Maybe slightly favored for Stevenson at 1 and a swing point at 5, and those were the differences. That's how they were able to get the job done. 1, 2, 5, 6.
Yeah, and then you have a situation where 3 ends up being did not finish. They were not done, and so 3 ends up being a DNF. So the score ends up being 4-2 in favor of SMU, and it happened in a hurry. And I think one of the cornerstones was obviously another sophomore at number 1, Neff, able to get that victory, as you mentioned, over Stevenson. And then just moments later, Liam Krall wraps it up for SMU's first American championship.
And Captain Caleb was up 3-2 in the third. So if it had come down to that, they weren't in bad position there as well.
I know they are about ready to go through the ceremony, as you see.
Well, I wonder if Grant brought a second shirt.
Maybe he had to change his shirt, yeah. But you see our sideline reporter, Brianna Sorensen, who will also do the PA and the announcing here in this post-game ceremony, post-match ceremony. Both of these teams going to the NCAA, and you look at both teams and how deep they both are, I would suspect they'll be tough outs no matter where they go, huh?
Most certainly.
All right, let's go to the ceremony, and there is Brianna.
senior captains.
What an effort by SMU. Big win certainly today. And for the Mustangs and for Memphis, they kind of ended the hammerlock that the Florida teams had on this American Athletic Conference Championships. USF had won 5 and UCF 1, and now put one in the bank for the SMU Mustangs. What an effort, and really what a tournament, and what a great effort certainly by Memphis as well. Huh?
That's right, and congratulations to the Memphis team in their year. But both championships, yesterday and today, are won with teams going for the hard way. Losing the doubles point, which often in really close matches where the margins are slim, is the difference maker. Both teams in dramatic fashion. The girls like a gauntlet, and these boys just fighting until they just get over the finish line, and some tight three-setters get the job done. Just a tremendous effort of fighting and competition and tactical fighting. So very impressed.
And some final moments here for Coach Grant Chen and SMU. So SMU celebrates their first American Athletic Conference Championship. We'd love to thank all of the folks here in Tulsa. Great job by the Golden Hurricane in hosting this tournament. Thank you again to Delaney Jodas of the American Athletic Conference, along with Chuck Sullivan. Steve Loro is our head referee during this and did a really terrific job all tournament long. Obviously, thanks to our producer, Scott Railing, and Carl Harper, our director. Iggy Garcia and the entire ESPN Plus crew did a wonderful job this week in these 2 championship games. So it is SMU winning, Memphis finishing in that runner-up position. For our sideline announcer, Brianna Sorensen, and of course, my color commentator, Mark Bay, I'm Bruce Howard saying so long from Tulsa, Oklahoma, where the final score was SMU 4, Memphis 2. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.